Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ETF2L Season 35 Premiership semi-final between LEGGO and Ascent.EU. My name is Wandum, joined today by Beta on production and Bumfreeze as the other guy who's also going to say words about TF2. How are we?
I'm doing excellent. I'm actually excited, and I know we say I'm excited before every game of TF2. We just have to do that as hosts. But this one's actually genuinely exciting. Semi-finals, Ascent versus LEGGO. We've got pick bans currently underway. Who do you think is going to come out on top, Wandum?
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I think this game goes either two ways. Either Ascent shows up today and they completely smash LEGGO, or they don't show up and it's a close game, but probably still two maps. For Ascent, like I'm a bit biased. I'm not gonna lie, but I just think honestly, when you sort of run down the rosters, at the end of the day, I think that just in general, right? Like I think Ascent just have better players. They've also been together for so long at this point. I think they just have a bunch of synergy that LEGGO just cannot really match. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think this is gonna be close.
Ascent taking the seed advantage in as well. They're going to get to pick not only whether they ban first or second in the rotation, but they also get that third map choice. LEGGO won't even be able to get a second map banned. Ascent just literally get to take that third map for free. So they have quite an advantage in the pick bans as well, getting the second seed from the regular season. They're actually tied on points with our first seed 6, but we had some tiebreaker shenanigans where 6 got more points from the top teams, which led to them having a higher tiebreaker score because Ascent did drop a point to LEGGO earlier in the season, so it might not be too much of a role as you're suggesting. If LEGGO already have got a point from this team in the past, we'll see if they can replicate it tonight.
I just want to see my boy Pappy like dunk on some kids, you know. We're going into actually the only map that we've heard so far to be confirmed is Viaduct as our first map, which I think is really interesting because normally you look at. I guess we should just go down the rosters of these teams before we go any further. Start talking about these players. I mean, I guess we'll just talk about LEGGO right off the bat. Kind of happened mid-season. This roster came together. Some key players on pretty much like every single top team except for 6 just kind of decided to quit and leave everyone like hanging dry. Classy steps away, so Ascent instead of Classy managed to pick up Credu, which they poached from the former LEGGO roster, which was called Egg. So now LEGGO, they just ate half of Aura Electro. Aura Electro died, and then they became a new roster with Yihor and Kunu on Scouts, Demul on Roma, Josh on Pocket. Wasn't actually playing last week, but he should be back this week, I think. Shock on Medic, and of course Elikor on Demo.
Yeah, not a confusing story at all there.
No.
For how they came to be, but yeah, certainly a star-studded roster, loads of top prem talent on that team, and already coming into their own, taking a third seed in their first season together. And obviously, on the other hand, we have our EU powerhouses for the last few seasons now, only managing to take second seed this season, though. We have Ascent. Domo is on Medic instead of Seeds. We've got Gink on Roma, Pappy on Pocket, Lucas on Demo Man, and we have Credu and Thomas rounding out the Scouts.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think they're a really scary team. I think right now they have the sort of like the best players in the league. I think on pretty much every single role. I think I haven't actually seen too much of this season, but from what I have seen, I think that Pappy sort of still retained his position as the best player in Europe right now. I think honestly he was completely robbed last season of that award. He was by far like the best performing member of his team compared to what he was doing on like as his role. He was the best pocket. He is still the best pocket in Europe, while also like hard main calling for his team, which is anyone who's ever actually tried to main call, they'll know that like that takes a lot out of you in terms of just taking away your focus on your own game. Being able to like simultaneously be the best player while also just like hard main calling is extremely impressive. And I think like because of that he's just like the best player. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, overall, I look at these players on Ascent, and I think they're such like a well sort of, I guess, oiled machine at this point that I don't think we sort of see these things in TF2 that happens. You know, Seven, Froyotech, these rosters that have been together forever. They come in and you don't really know how to beat them because, like, honestly, like synergy in TF2 can be built up and it takes a while, but once it kind of gets there, it's extremely hard to break.
Yeah, and this team is definitely getting it now. I mean, they've been together for a long, long time. Obviously, this is the biggest shakeup they've had in a while with Domo and Credu both being new players. But they've had a whole season to figure things out. They may have been shaky earlier in the season, but Pappy is so good at drilling things into his players. They've got their habits all down to a T now. And Credu and Domo are fitting into the Ascent machine perfectly, as you were saying. So I do favor Ascent in this matchup as well. Do we have any more pick bans confirmed? I
I have
believe
been
it was
told that the second map will be Gully Wash.
so Ascent picked Product and
Yes.
LEGGO picked Gully Wash.
I think-
Interesting.
I think it's actually really interesting that Ascent decided to go for the product picked. Normally, you look at Lego and you see Kunu on one of the scout positions. You're like, okay, like maybe you don't want to play product against them. Like last season, we saw the Nerd Rage team that Kunu was a part of. Like even though they weren't actually that good on pretty much every single map, on product they were like they were the best like European team on product pretty much like solely based around the fact that Kunu was super good on sniper. But I think honestly from the officials we saw last sort of a few weeks ago, where Kunu like was trying to play sniper on occasion, it just didn't. I think it went to prove that Nerd Rage's success on Viaduct was more due to the fact that AMS had sort of figured out a system to play around a sniper on product like a couple of seasons ago with Credu and stuff, and he just kind of applied that with Kunu instead, and it worked really well. Whereas where we saw Lego have a sniper a few weeks back on product, they just didn't look as good. They didn't look as clean as when they were just playing like the all standard roster. So
yeah, that's the tricky thing about having Kuno on the roster, is that he's obviously known as one of the most menacing snipers in the game, but also he's the definition of the beam scout, and that's something you really want on product. I mean, getting your scouts on your medic pretty much 100% of the time is so important for survival in this map, and Kuni plays that role to a T, always with his medic, just taking that beam all the time. So if you want to put him on sniper, which you really do because he's incredibly talented, you unfortunately lose one of these really hardcore combo scouts that you want to be running. So they have tried running Demul on sniper quite a bit in the past. It's obviously not quite Kunu, but he does come into his own on sniper as well. So we'll see who tries to snipe today, if either of them even do try to snipe, or if they'll just keep it to this cookie cutter roster.
I mean, I think also you just have to look at the demo men, like on both teams. Viaduct is also like it's a really good map for demo because of the way the sort of map is structured and played, where you sort of when you're holding the point, you're sort of sat behind it and you're just spamming across stickies as a demo man. You do so much work, and I think like overall, I think we can pretty much all agree that Lucas is absolutely crazy on demo. That's not to take anything away from Elico. He's obviously insane as well. But I think that honestly, like for the past few seasons, Lucas has like clearly demonstrated that he is the superior demo.
Player of the season 2 seasons running, if I'm correct.
I think that is the case. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lucas definitely not to be messed around with on Demo Man.
I think like one of the other things we could honestly discuss about this product is that Ascent have. I'm looking at their roster, and I think they have 3 players that are all semi-willing to snipe. Like obviously, Credu has been known to be even crazier than Kunu on sniper. When he did sort of play on that Ascent roster, he was like for a couple of seasons, like season 30, season 31, he was absolutely insane. And like Gink is not a bad sniper either. Like he can also pull out some magic on the class. Like I think both these teams, if not evenly matched, I think honestly Ascent might have them beat for just like pure sniper talent.
Yeah, Gink has been putting his off-classing to use quite a bit in the previous seasons. I'm not sure if he will be able to live up to Kunu if he decides to go sniper.
I'm
But
not sure
Credu
either.
certainly could, but again, we've got the same risk as I was just talking about with Kunu, is that you're getting rid of one of your star scouts who is like very good at playing the beam. So it's all about whether or not it's worth it to put your epic aimers onto sniper in this matchup, I suppose.
But I think that's probably why if we're gonna see a sniper, it's probably gonna be Dmul and Gink sniping.
Yeah.
More than anything, and I
agree
think
with
those
you.
two are actually probably pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Dimul and Gink both talented, but both not the best snipers on their team.
But then again, like I think we're gonna have to look at the fact that Gink is currently using an anime profile picture and Dmul isn't, and that has to give him some
Ooh.
form of edge.
Yeah.
Like, against the enemy warriors.
That's kind of... I'm not sure if Mailer's going to be okay with that. I mean, only 2 of them are tagged up with their Ascent profile picture. Surely that's in the contract somewhere, right?
Ooh, I don't know. That's pretty
I
hairy.
don't mean to call them out, get them fired in the semi-finals, but
That would be pretty funny.
what else to talk about? The return of Yeehaw. Yeehaw back on Scout after not being on a team at the start of the season. He was definitely one of the defining features of Aura Electro and how they placed so high last season. It was a real shock to not see Yeehaw on any roster at the start of the season, but obviously with all the calamities we talked about, all the changing rosters, Yeehaw did manage to find his way onto this LEGGO roster, and he is still playing like a beast. He is such an incredible scout, and scouts, as we always say, are the most important thing on product. Who do you give the edge to in scouts, Wandum? Is it still Ascent?
I'm actually not sure. I don't think I've seen enough of either team to really know for sure this season. I actually haven't seen that many of Ascent's game. I mean, I think in like pure name value, I think honestly Ascent scouts are better. I think Thomas is a better scout than Kunu, but I think it kind of depends. I think honestly, like it depends on how good Credu is, because I don't know how good he's been this season. I think he sort of fell off a few seasons ago, sort of last year, like coming up, like during and after Copenhagen Games, he didn't really seem like the same absolute boss he was. I'm not sure
the
if that's
Ascent
enough.
iteration of Credu rather than the 7 iteration is kind of what you're talking about.
But like
I haven't seen much
even
of
at the
him this
start of
season
Ascent Credu, like he was still like hard carrying his team.
Yeah. Honestly, all I've seen of Ascent this season is their games against Synonym of Perfection and teams of the sort, so I can't say much for Credu's performance either. But certainly, yeah, in the past, he has been a hard carry. If he can get back up to that level, we are gonna see a pretty easy game. But yeah, I don't think he has been at that level for a while. Maybe with that new Kovacs update that nobody liked.
Oh,
Maybe that put him off kilter a bit.
maybe. I mean, I guess like we should probably mention right now, considering my co-caster, that if you are a little bit confused about what's happened to this LEGGO roster, obviously it looks nothing like the Egg and the Aura Electro rosters that we saw at the beginning of the season. There's this new up and coming journalist called Foreign who did some really good coverage of the events that sort of led up to these massive shakeups that we did see. So maybe afterwards, maybe not right now, of course, but sort of after the game, she could go over, watch him sort of
You could
break
probably even
everything
get
down.
it done in the pre-game. These teams are taking so long, to be honest. I mean, Foreign's a great guy. Lucky enough to meet the chap at TwitchCon. Even though it was cancelled, me and him went along anyway. Great fella.
I mean, he's got some strong opinions, but, you know, he's just a really passionate guy, and you can really admire that.
Alright, half an hour past the original scheduled match time.
I have been told
still
that
not
the
getting
final map will be Snakewater, should we get that far. And Paprika _ has gone offline. So, some point soon, maybe, we might be playing the video game. But, you know.
You'd really hope so, wouldn't you? So, we'll see Product Gully Wash and then Snakewater tonight. Product and Snakewater being picked by Ascent, and Gullywash picked by LEGGO.
That's actually really interesting.
Product, I think I favor Ascent.
I'm pretty sure Ascent lost Snakewater to, I believe it was 6. Very beginning of the season. Maybe that just, I don't know what happened there. I didn't watch the game, I don't think, but you know, perhaps maybe a little bit shaky.
Maybe they're putting it in there to discourage 6 from picking it, and it's actually their worst map, and they're hoping that they'll win this in 2 maps, so they won't have to play it. But then Snakewater looks intimidating because they picked it in this matchup. They're playing 5D chess.
There's this legend of the guy who used to be on Virtus Pro, the guy called Taz. Apparently in some like WESG tournament, like 2009, they're about to play like the best team in the world, and he looks and he's like, let's just pick the opponent's best map. And then everyone goes, why would we do that? It's their best map. And he says, but if we beat them on it, then they'll be so scared. And then they lost it completely. But it doesn't matter, Bumfries, we're live! Finally!
Oh, for the love of God, we're finally live. Everyone going to mid with their default classes. This is the ETF2L Season 35 semi-final. Ascent versus LEGGO. We have Pappy and Gink both on the concrete side. Neither of the team wanting to aggress quite yet. Lucas putting a bit of damage over, trying to walk forwards a bit, and now that makes Pappy come in with the bomb. They both go behind, and LEGGO walks immediately over the point with both these soldiers out of the fight. They get Thomas straight away, but Shock goes down in return.
Domo! No. Okay. Josh actually chased Domo there for so long, all the way back into spawn. That was actually really unlucky for Domo. He ended up catching some early spam there at the beginning of that mid. And he was really low at the beginning, kind of like sort of stunted Ascent's ability to go forwards. Having a medic below 100 HP, that 100%, or like that 100 HP threshold, where you can just get one shot, is really scary. Stunted their aggression a lot. They're actually moving back in already. The Wolf spawned on Sniper. See if that means anything at all. That's a burst soldier bombing in behind right now. Nobody's done anything about Pappy. There we go. But no follow-up aggression has come out. Gink's bombing in on concrete. Josh actually might get caught out by this. They haven't been able to get on the point. They finally got it. Shock has Ad, and that's 2 players down on Ascent. Both soldiers means that Ascent just gonna back off a little bit. They did get the cap.
Oh, and Thomas
really happening.
Getting taken down, trying to escape there on very low health. Good play from Ascent to get that small bit of cap time at least. They put in both their soldiers one at a time, just as distractions. While everyone turned around, they kind of snuck that point from under LEGGO's noses, but now we're in an even Uber situation. LEGGO got that point back straight away again, and Pappy has to bomb all the way in onto Shock. Doesn't get much done, but the rest of his team are walking across the point. Lucas getting a lot of cap time on here. Now Josh going down, Yeehaw very low. The Uber comes out on the point. Shock uses in return, and we have a 5v6 fight. Gink gets cleaned up. So we're 5v5. LEGGO still in control of the point. Ascent have a lot of cap time though, and they want to carry on with this fight with the Ubers out of the question. Everyone bombing in, Lucas in deep onto Shock, not managing to clean it up. No one else is there with him, and it's just Ascent feeding into the territory of LEGGO right now. They don't have the cap either. Yeehaw going in to take down Lucas at that last second. Pappy has to jump all the way out. We are pretty confidently in the lead for LEGGO right now, as Ascent do cap this point up finally.
Domo actually has Ad, but it's only 20%. I don't think it means that much. Still, Sniper kind of restricts the movement of Ascent a little bit. Hasn't quite really hit anything so far, but there's a lot to be said for just the presence of the Sniper. Soldier aggression does come out right now of Ascent. Gets a little bit of space. That's Pappy in behind again, this time all the way. Enemy cliff, he's just going to spot everyone out. Finally jumps in, that's so much damage. Yeehaw goes down, Elikor and Demur follow up. Uber's popped on point for LEGGO. Uber actually came out of Domo way earlier on. Lucas does go down in that trade, but it does look like Ascent have managed to take back control of that point, but they are a solid minute behind LEGGO.
Yeah, Ascent used that Uber way earlier, but they just got all the kills that weren't players being healed by Shock. Shock couldn't even save anyone, and he used his Uber way later to pretty much no effect. Now, LEGGO taking the aggression all the way in, but Pappy from behind with the bomb cleans up Shock gonna go down in the connector, and Ascent keep a clean hold of the point throughout that fight.
I mean, clean and clean, right? Domo did go down, so it's not actually awful. For LEGGO, it's definitely not favorable, right? Because now the time is sort of slowly ticking down. Losing your medic there is kind of like really good for Ascent because it means that they get to hold this point for a little bit longer. They're going to stall it out. Gink is actually on Sniper, looking at the point right now. He has been spotted out. He hasn't found anything. He's just looking at the point. Elikor sort of peeking it. Does find a kill with the help of Lukash onto Kunu, and now aggression's going to come out of Ascent. They have control of that point. LEGGO did not get the cap, and that is... Now it's getting worrying for Ascent because they're only like on about a minute left. Sort of get in, get a force, because the Ubers are even. They're going to have to take an Uber trade, come out on top of it afterwards if they really want to stay in and get this round.
Yeah, LEGGO are building this up, but I don't see the point in this. On Viaduct, you want to take the fights when neither team has Uber. If you both build up your Uber, you're simply going to have to take a trade so you don't have Uber again, and then take a fight. All this is doing is running point time down for Ascent. This just favors Ascent here. Shock and Kunu finally busting the flank here, taking an Uber straight onto Pappy, and they get that kill. But Domo has popped out in return, and Yeehor gets sniped down in the exchange. Ascent still have all the positioning on the point here as Josh bombs in Elikor, helping him clean up a kill on Lucas. And now it seems we're starting to be in favor of LEGGO until Kunu gets sniped down by Gink, ever present, watching over that point from afar. And with 10 seconds left, LEGGO are going to have to start throwing their lives away on the point here.
Gink found a really crucial headshot onto Elikor, like halfway during that fight. Didn't actually get him, but it was enough to sort of delay him. That's a really nice headshot onto Josh. Follow up onto Demul as well as Kunu going down. All of the aggression onto point was just completely shut down. That was really well played by Ascent there towards the end.
I don't understand what took them so long to and like deciding to build when it's already even, all this sort of stuff. You just need to be getting in and getting the point when there's no Ubers involved. But we do see the next round starting off.
Credu is on Sniper. He's going to be sitting on a really nice, sort of weird angle that I
Gink is
didn't
on
really
heavy,
think about.
by the way. Gink is on heavy on the cliff.
Oh,
So
troll round?
a very interesting class composition. Not something you'd usually see. I mean, heavy is sometimes used if you already have control of the point and just want to like stall out that for ages, but on a mid fight, Credu taking down Elikor, the first frag we've seen in this entire mid fight. No one's even crossed the point on either team apart from Demul. He's gonna go down. So now it's 2 frags on the side of Ascent. Both teams have Uber before any cap time was placed on the point this round. I don't think I've seen that before in Tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, that heavy is so effective at shutting down aggression, and LEGGO really just don't feel like they can push into the heavy. Try to bomb in your soldiers, your demo even. He'll just like completely juggle you, shoot you up, keep you levitating in the sky. That headshot there from Credu onto Elikor completely sealed the mid. They wouldn't have enough damage, enough pressure to get across the point. Stimul is going to respond with his own sniper. He's going to be sitting pretty much in the mirrored position of Credu.
Yeah,
walking
Credu
his
got
way
a
slowly over
headshot
to the point.
on Elikor there. As we do see a pause come in, question mark.
I think that is a pause.
Looking like a pause.
All the fun momentum we were building up has vanished. But, you know.
Yeah, all that momentum. Who said that Sixers players don't like heavy, huh? Take that, Reddit.
What's your favorite heavy meme?
Ooh.
Or heavy line? It's probably...
Heavy voice. Oh, there's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones.
There's so many absolute classics. I mean, Baloney, perfect fuel for killing tiny cowards. That's a pretty good one.
That's a really good one. I really like the one where he just screams if you shoot enough, and he just goes like, yeah, that, I'm not gonna do it. But he screams a lot of stuff, and then he says kaboom, kaboom at the end.
Yeah, what a mental freak that guy is.
He's crazy.
Alright guys, put your favorite heavy voice lines in chat and we'll read them out in heavy impression voice.
I can't do a heavy impression.
Well,
Don't
you're
do
gonna
this
have
to me.
Don't run! It's just ham! Thank you for the suggestion, Matt has. It's your turn now. You have to beat that.
Gaz put in an NG quote, and that actually just shakes me to the point of being unable to say anything. I can't believe he would do that.
Prem player fail? Imagine not even
You'd think
knowing
that
the
he'd
9
understand
classes
the
of
game enough to know
TF2.
that Move That Gear Up is actually the YouTube channel name of Epsilon Roma Gear, and not a TF2 line.
Just looking through chat, give me a moment. I'm looking for some of the good ones people have put.
Yeah. I guess in the meantime I can talk about my day. So today I woke up at around 9.
What sick man sends
Thank you.
babies to fight? You're welcome.
Thank you so
Damn,
much.
we really do have 300 viewers watching a pause game
Watching
and
you get
me
fucked.
shouting heavy voice lines.
Are there other funny classes in TF2? I feel like the soldier's a really underrated personality. The line where he like teleports bread in the in the video where Scout tries to flirt with Miss Pauling is an absolute classic. I really like that one. I also just think like in general, the soldier's really funny when he calls people hippies and stuff. When he says "get a haircut, hippie," that's my favorite moment.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome when he does that.
Yeah.
Damn, we really haven't been
That's
paused for a long
'cause
time.
do you know why it's awesome, Bumfries? It's because it always plays in MGE when you dominate your opposing soldier. And that's epic ponage.
I did not know that. I don't think I've ever dominated someone in MG.
I think we've managed to dominate someone in MGE so hard that they unpaused the game.
Thank God, because I was getting bored as hell. And we are back into the game now. Nothing's still happening because Gink is on heavy on the cliff. Kunu's taking a big Uber straight across point. Elikor gets flashed in two. And Domo uses on Lucas considerably later. Still has 50% Uber to chase with, but they elect to just get back to the safety of their heavy, keep control of the point. Demul getting Gink down. That's the heavy gone, so they're taking all the space on point, all the kills right now. And they finally get to cap up the point.
Yeah, Demul getting that kill onto Gink and Pappy going down to a nice little air pipe break. Elikor, Lucas getting caught out on point as well, just completely wrestles the control out of Ascent's hands. So now, my HUD does say that they have already got all of the cap time, but that's because we were paused and haven't been able to rejoin. Currently buying Bumfries some time to do that. I hope he is doing that.
We had our
as they are.
first forward hold of the game. Got broken very quickly, as we do now have everyone back in ordinary positions. It's even Ubers, so Pappy and Gink are going to be straight in behind to see if they can force this out. The rest of their team just takes all the space on the point, and Gink and Pappy both escape with their lives. They absolutely stole that point from LEGGO with neither team having to use. That's an impressive feat from Ascent, and that's where the pause was.
That is like daylight robbery. That should never happen, honestly. I'm not sure. That's just like that's pure intimidation coming out of Ascent. That's so. You don't really do that. A lot of the time, you would see a fight ending up like taking shape, especially. Ascent have got a minute and a half left at this point. Not exactly favorable for LEGGO. They're just counting on. At this point, it feels like they're counting on Ascent to go and make a mistake. They're slowly edging the point right now, but that's Elikor really far forward. It's going to eat a pipe already. Not really sure. That's Credu. Does take a single pipe, but I'm not. They're just so passive. They're not willing to go forwards here. Both teams sitting on the Uber. Neither team really willing to do anything. They're just waiting for Demul, honestly, to get in and find a pick. Pappy is onto Cliff. Gonna try to find something. Just gonna jump back out again. Doesn't even die there.
Yeah, it seems every time he jumps in, everyone just holds S. They don't even clean him up, and he just gets out scot-free. Kunu now playing the point. Tomas wants to punish that. He goes in deep with the Uber, exchanged immediately from Shock as Credu goes down in the fight, along with Demul. That's a sniper and a scout respectively. Tomas also getting cleaned up on the end of that fight. But there's still two soldiers in LEGGO's territory right now. Gink gets cleaned up, but Pappy still sneaking around on Cliff. They know he's there. He bombs all the way out, and it looks like LEGGO are going to clean up this capture.
So now it looks like they're not even willing to go that aggressive. They're just going to set up behind point again. Demul's still on sniper, sitting where he always was sitting, on top of China there. So he gets a nice little body shot to Credu. Doesn't actually find the frag, but it's enough to sort of ward them off in the meantime. Ascent don't really have to get this point very long. It's just a matter of getting back in and reclaiming it. We're seeing them being so much more willing to sort of push the narrative, get aggressive, get in, like, in their faces, you know, get down dirty. Tumul absolutely destroyed Pappy there with the crazy headshot. That is 3 players on Ascent down. Yeehor cleaning up Gink as well. It's only 3 players alive at this point. Kredu's going to have to put in some work right now just to keep Domo alive, as he actually manages to scare off that scout. So it does seem like, for the moment at least, we are fine. That's a set coming up, back up right now. Even Ubers, it looks like they're just going to be kind of willing to go in for a trade hit. Maybe?
Yeah, it
yes.
looks like that's what they do. Pappy and Tomas taking it forwards. Shock pops onto Elikor in return. Pappy goes behind the Uber, and Tomas runs his medic out. There's 2 soldiers fighting against Yeehor and Josh right now. Gink gets out alive, but Pappy does not, and they capture the point in the meantime. It just seems like Ascent have so much more of a plan, and they're always willing to do it, as they just run forwards, take down Elikor and Shock as well. It's only Kunu left alive. That AA needs to serve him well right now, and he does get taken down. Will Josh even be able to get on point in time? He has to salvage this.
Oh.
It's him versus Lucas and Pappy.
Yeah. There is a scout though in the meantime, but he just gets, like, completely crushed by Lucas. 1 soldier in, that's just a mule. He's back on the soldier. It's just not enough. Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is Ascent just having, like, a much better...
Ascent have so much more of a game plan, Wandum.
Yeah.
Like, Pappy is always just willing to get in behind. Gink goes 2, and then they either get something done or they distract long enough for Ascent to just cap up the point. LEGGO are doing nothing of the sort. They're just waiting around and hoping something works out. They really need to step up the pace and start bringing the fights to Ascent, because they're losing so much time on this point by being passive. As we're into the 3rd and possibly final mid-fight here. Again, Pappy is the initial bomber. Yeehor, the first death, but Domo immediately going down in return. All the players are on LEGGO's side of the map right now. They're so deep. Lucas and Kredu, last men standing, both going to get taken down here in the end, and LEGGO, surviving with 3 people, going to get this first capture.
Yeah, I think we're seeing why I don't think LEGGO are going to win here. We're seeing, like, all the different aspects of why not. They're not really willing to push the envelope, do anything, like, sort of proactive. They're just they're playing not to lose instead of, like, trying to win. Waiting for their opponents to make mistakes and not really willing to do anything themselves. They're being really passive. While you see Ascent, they're just so much more willing to go in for a fight. Even right now, Shock did go down here, so they are willing to take that. Even though Lucas is dead, they're still walking in. This is such a difference in mentality. Josh actually does hit a really nice rocket there. It's only Tomas and Domo left alive. The fight didn't ultimately end up working out for them, but it's such a, like, an illustration of the difference between the playstyles of these 2 teams.
Yeah, at least Domo manages to get out alive here, so it will be even Ubers, but this forward hold was there at least, but with that pick on Elikor from Tomas, that's a considerable shift in momentum. They're going to be all the way in without a demo here. Gink gets the force out of Shock really early, and Domo does pop in return on Lucas and Toe to save their lives. All the frags are going Ascent's way now. Dimul getting taken down. Shock as well on the end of this fight. They just need to keep Domo alive, and this is a guaranteed win for them.
Lucas is playing this really well right now. That first pipe was really good onto the scout. Finding that sticky trap kill onto Shock as well is really nice. This means that his team now has the heals. They have the ability and much more health to sort of push across and take this point back. Even though LEGGO do have this point captured right now, they do actually seem to be running back in and Ascent a little bit slow. They do have Gink on Sniper here, so they're going to try to use him to sort of keep LEGGO back and not willing to take risks, but they are just right behind this point right now. They are moving forwards here, but Josh is just going to get completely shut down. Demoulas is in as well. They do find the kill onto Lucas, which is actually really important. That's a lot of damage taken out of Ascent's hand. Demul gets the force, but it's too little, too late. Gink finds the headshot onto Shock. Absolutely brilliant headshot.
That was some very strange quasi 6-man sack where your medic also dies to get the force, and you don't capture the point at any time during the fight. Not an ideal situation to find yourself in, and I think also that was our first proper example of a double bomb by LEGGO, and we did just see how much better Ascent can deny these double bombs. I mean, Josh got picked out the sky instantly, Dimul just got body shot by that sniper. He's gone down to like 10 health. He has to get out. He does get cleaned up as well. It's just all these bombs favor Ascent so much more. LEGGO aren't able to get anything done with them, it seems. And again, we have a small advantage on Domo.
We are going to see, like, this advantage doesn't mean all that much, honestly, because of the map that we are playing. They're actually moving forwards on LEGGO right now. They're going to have to try and force the issue here. They are down 2 rounds already, and Ascent have the point captured. They're going to have to just start doing something. They are getting aggressive. Ubers are even, but that doesn't matter, honestly. On this map, you are looking to take those trades, sort of get the point afterwards. You can't cap the point. You can't cap any points in TF2 if you're Uber charged. So actually, that's Credu going down right now to Kunu. Do find the first frag, but Josh and Kunu are both dead now, so that's Ascent walking across point. Ubers are popped, but it's an Elocore solo, and those are just... Demo solos aren't always the greatest, as now pretty much everyone on LEGGO are going down. Elocore doesn't quite find that pipe. Shock is dead. Domo's alive. Nobody really died on Ascent. LEGGO just find themselves once again completely outmaneuvered.
Yeah, not ideal, as you said. A Demo Man solo, there's not much you can do with that, especially on Viaduct. You really need scouts in the Ubers. We see a forward hold, but Kunu's trying to bust that already on Pyro. Domo with a nice surf out to escape from Demul and Josh. He's going to keep his life, and they get 2 soldier frags as well. Pappy's all the way into spawn, seeing if he can get anything cheeky onto Shock, but he gets punished for it, rightfully so. And we do again have an even Uber situation, but that forward hold just was ticking down the time bomb for Ascent. That's all they need. It's going to detonate in 30 seconds unless LEGGO can do something about it.
This is really scary. Yeehawk goes down to a trap on point as well. It's going to take a lot of the brunt out of the push coming out of LEGGO right now. As the Uber popped out of Domo, sorry, not Shock. Shock did go down. That's Josh getting sniped on the flank as well. The Uber finally comes back out, but 2 players on LEGGO are already dead. Domo does go down, however, but it's 3 seconds left on the point. LEGGO gonna have to clean up right now, but the player ad just isn't there. Shock goes down to Credu. Credu dances around the point. Yeehawk goes down. 3-0 first map for Ascent.
Yeah, very convincing for Ascent there. It was their map pick. We'll give them that. Maybe LEGGO not too happy about that map getting through, and we might see a more close affair on Gullywash, our upcoming second map. That's LEGGO's pick, but there was really nothing to be said there for LEGGO at all. I didn't see anything that impressed me that Ascent weren't doing better. Ascent were just outshining them in almost every way on that map.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, honestly, a little bit strange. Like, Ascent aren't even known as a Viaduct team, but they picked it, seemingly because they kind of saw the games that LEGGO did play on Viaduct, and honestly, they weren't too impressive during the main season as well. Felt, actually, honestly, kind of evenly matched, both against the Wizards and the Frenchies. But we're going to look a little bit of a log right now.
What stands out to me is Gink's 2 minutes on Sniper in which he did 14 damage. It was literally just, he didn't even have to shoot anyone, just the threat of the big fat man on the hill was scaring everyone off from doing anything. He had pretty much 2 minutes of presence on the map where he was just uncontested. Looking at more regular statistics though, Lucas, only one to... Oh, not the only one actually. Lucas and Credu, both above 300 DPM in the game. Credu getting a nice product scout KD, the sort you'd expect. And Kunu matching him on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to be said. I feel like these logs kind of pretty much tell the entire story. They are a bit sort of, when we're kind of used to seeing bigger numbers on product because it tends to be a more high-paced, sort of very aggro sort of play style.
Yeah, everyone's in each other's face on that map all the time.
We just don't see it out of LEGGO, and that makes me really worried coming into Gullywash for not only like how well they're gonna do, but also just the pace of the game in general and how fun it is gonna be to cast. Considering, like, we're not seeing them being really willing or able to push that well. And coming into a map like Gullywash, where last and even second can be, like, notoriously difficult to break into. So it makes me scared for how long I'm going to have to sit here and talk about nothing.
Also, if we are gonna follow up on what we were talking about so much in the pregame, if we look at our sniper v sniper, Gink spent half the time of Demul on the sniper class and still got more frags. Demul really was not getting much done of any impact. I think the one I remember of his was killing Gink when he was on heavy, probably, and that was the most they ever got from it. I mean, Gink was hitting headshots pretty consistently during trades and stuff, which just gave him his team the edge at the end of it. So, yeah, definitely Gink outshining Demul on that map by quite a margin.
That makes it so hard for Demul, honestly. If you're gonna run a sniper on Viaduct, there is like the requirement of he has to hit shots, even on any map. If you're running a sniper who's not doing anything, he's the least effective class in the game because he's doing 0 damage. And like, sure, there's something to be said about the presence, but it honestly seemed like Ascent didn't really respect Demul's sniper at all.
Yeah, they
kind
didn't
of just
care about
ignored
his
him
presence.
and won anyway. Like, pushed across. He didn't hit anything, didn't do anything to justify the fact that they were ignoring him. A lot of the time, when we do see teams that go, okay, let's just ignore the sniper pushing anyways. Like, even a couple of seasons ago, we did see Kunu last season. Kunu on Viaduct. If people decide to do that against Nudrage, he just kind of kill them.
And I think it might not even be down to Gink's a better sniper than Demul. It might just be down to the fact that Pappy was always on Demul. Demul couldn't get anything done because Pappy was actually being proactive with his gameplay. That's not something we saw out of anyone on LEGGO. They weren't nearly putting the pressure onto Gink when he was up and alive. We had Pappy pretty much on the enemy team's China like for 50% of the game. He was being so disruptive behind enemy lines. And obviously that's your favorite place to stand as sniper. If there's a soldier always on you, you're not winning that 1v1 very often. And Pappy was just locking that area down so well throughout the game. So plenty of things to be happy about if you're Ascent after that first map.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep on the subject of the Ascent soldiers here. We are going on to Gullywash next. So Gullywash is known to be a lot more soldier-centric than most of the 5CP maps. There are a lot of sort of closer quarters and a lot of areas where soldier bombs are super important. Especially on mid, it's sort of the mid where soldier bombs almost matter the most. Sort of getting that right double soldier bomb across the point onto the enemy teams, defining for pretty much every single mid fight we see on this map. Coming into this, it just looks so promising for Ascent. The fact that Pappy and Gink both seem to be really just on their game, ready to go, raring to go. That synergy that they built up over literally over the years at this point, is looking super scary.
Yeah, if I had to get a score out of you, would you expect it to be as one-sided as what we just saw?
I think we're looking at probably something like a 3-0, just considering how LEGGO plays. If Ascent don't win the mid-fight by killing Shock, I think we're going to look at some really slow rounds, and then the rounds where Shock goes down on mid, or just even like other places, I think Ascent are going to be able to capitalize off of it. I think it's important to highlight the fact that I feel like Shock, from what I've seen from him this season, still hasn't really fully managed to recuperate from some of what was like holding him back last season, which is dying in sort of really unfortunate situations where you really can't afford to lose a medic. I don't really normally I don't think I have a lot of faith in him, honestly, to be able to stay alive in the crucial moments, especially on maps like Gullywash where it is so important to stay alive.
You think it was all the Eames factor? Do you think after Eames' departure, Shock doesn't have that guiding hand to get him to improve?
Maybe it might. I don't even think that, because he was dying uncomfortably a lot. Especially like if you think back to the finals last season, he did not have a good finals either there. But maybe it's just the lack of Eames' presence now that sort of hindered his growth. He's not really doing anything right now. Maybe Eames doing a little bit. He is returning. Have seen a few mixes with Eames for the upcoming secondary Copenhagen isn't happening tournament. The lockdown throwdown, or whatever it's called. But you know, I don't know.
I mean, Eames's quit was probably the weakest TF2 quit attempt we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
He was on Pugs like 2 days later.
but that's how the saying goes. You never quit TF2.
Exactly. Not even for a week at a time.
Have you ever successfully quit TF2?
Only accidentally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that kind of happens sometimes. You could make that a YouTube channel, you know? Like, how I accidentally quit TF2 and came back as a caster.
Brackets, not clickbait.
Not clickbait, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, Foreign probably has some advice about how to set up a YouTube channel. We are getting ready. Both teams have readied up, unless somebody's trolling. We should be going live right now. It's a reminder, if you're not looking at your screens, your eyes are closed. This is the ETF2L Season 35 Premiership semi-final between LEGGO and Ascent. Ascent getting the upper hand of LEGGO on the first map. We are on to the second one, Gully Wash. Rolling out to the first mid. Go ahead, Bumfries. Talk to me.
Yeah, LEGGO's pick. Both soldiers under the point right now for LEGGO. Didn't even manage to get anything done before Credu hunted down that Demol frag. But Domo instantly down at the start of this mid. Everyone's jumping forwards onto Shock to try and recuperate. They do clean up every frag except the ones they want. They need to go in deep right now. Lucas onto Elikor. Tomas cleans that up, but Shock is hiding.
Why is he not just running back?
Yeah,
oh my god,
that
okay.
could have been disastrous if Tomas like hunted him down there. I think Shock's safest bet was to get out to last, but he tried to go for a saw. But he doesn't get punished for that mistake. Now he does have a full Uber advantage pretty much, as Domo only just respawned. Gink hiding on the sneaky lamp spot. Only blue team gets to utilize it. Please fix, Valve.
I can't believe Valve still has a broken game. This game's been out for so many years and it's still broken. I can't believe it. So, LEGGO are actually not pushing this. They're being so slow and careful about this.
They're in through drop down now, though. They're taking their own side of the mid after going through drop down. No one's managed to get onto Shock, so this is a pretty much free mid capture. But Domo's Uber will be up any second now. We'll see if he wants to use it. Josh going in deep. He does get that big solo. Now Kunu coming in as well. But the Uber is out from Ascent. Josh gets in behind. Tomas running deep onto mid with the last scraps of his Uber, getting in some good damage onto Elikor. But now Josh crunching in from behind manages to take down Lucas. And things are just going to settle here. With LEGGO in control of mid. They're not settling, never mind.
That was so strange. LEGGO being so slow to push in just means that they're all gonna get caught out. Elikor stuck in Choke. Gink, do you have a heart and a soul? Stop bullying him. Just end him. It's finally now Ascent. They get the kill into Elikor, which means they're just gonna bust through Choke, I think. Actually, maybe not. They're getting a little bit. They're sort of teasing it. LEGGO, get back to that point there earlier. LEGGO was so slow, which allowed Domo to get the Uber charge. Even Pappy didn't die then, they didn't do anything. Like, it just allowed them to stay in. Maybe they could have just given up mid and held second instead, but now
Shock
players
gets forced, but Domo dies.
Actually goes down. Force comes out into Shock, but that is really scrappy out of Ascent.
That is no respect from Ascent. They are just like, screw it, we're just gonna bust this. They get all the space by the Choke. It forces Shock back towards Big Door, where he then gets forced from the flank as well. It was just an all entrances, balls to the wall, just run in from Ascent. Didn't work out in their favor, and now we are even once again, but Gink is down. Looks like they're going to pressure Big Door straight away with this LEGGO, trying to take it through into second. Only Pappy here, and he will get punished for being so close now. It's looking like quite a bit of momentum for LEGGO. They get Lucas as well. That's a crucial pick for Gully Wash last. They're capping up the second. They don't want the Ascent to get this Uber. They're just going to run straight in. Elikor sticking the point while Kunu plays it from behind. This is absolutely classic Gully Wash play. They get the first round pretty swiftly. 4 minutes in. 1 round for LEGGO. Is this their map?
Maybe, but I felt like honestly they lost, or they got that round, sorry, because Ascent were just playing that incredibly strangely. I don't think they were quite respecting LEGGO enough. So I felt like they stayed on second a little bit too long. Lucas getting caught out in lobby as well, just pretty much sealed the round right now. We're on mid, and Soldier's being so aggressive, trying to get onto Lucas's face. But that's both soldiers of LEGGO going down, and so they just back right up. Ascent now, they're chasing already. They're in big door. They're so fast there. They're going to try to catch them out. Everyone's in lobby. Pappy's actually behind, but he takes a lot of damage right now. But they're in on last. They're just chasing them all the way. Elikor gets taken down by Credu. They're just walking in. You haven't capped mid.
There's 5 players in lobby. No one's capped mid. This could backfire on them. They're going to have to go all the way back now. And with even Ubers, LEGGO getting theirs, and Elikor is going to spawn closer to the fight than Ascent spawners. This could come out in their favor after all. We do see a trade now, Demul going down in it, and LEGGO going straight to mid to block this capture, which Ascent never even started. But it's all fallen apart, and Shock, and was that Kunu? They will not be able to escape, they just get punished.
Why would they walk in there? Why does Josh look at a scout standing on Gullywash mid and say, I'm going to jump that? That is such a big mistake.
Shock
So
is still down as well. This is so advantageous. 50% ad for Ascent. Looks like they're just going to play it as Thomas begins the building. This has been such a strange round. Even from the get-go, they put their 2 soldiers in so fast. Before anyone had even got up elbow, they could just easily take those soldiers out. And that's a 4v6 mid-fight you've got yourself. So, again, we're going to see Ascent take this through Riverside onto Thomas and Lucas. They're not getting much with it so far. Shock still kiting around, doesn't go into spawn. And Josh cleaning up 2 important frags in the end of this fight right now.
Yeah, these kills are absolutely crucial coming out of Josh. Tomo and Lucas, I think, as well, get taken down really early on. That's so much. Pushing a last with that amount of time left, that little space taken is so hard without a medic. It's a lot of health you need. Yehor spots some stickies on second. They're finally pushing out on LEGGO, actually. It seems like Ascent, they want to fight this. There's nobody in. They're just trying to catch out a player, but luckily, Yehor's spider senses, they tingle a little bit, informs him he needs to get the hell out of there. Gets picked up there. That's sort of room for them to push in. Kudo right now in spawn, checking for off classes, hoping to find maybe something so he can justify playing a little bit of an off class. But no, he finds nothing, goes Pyro. So yeah, I think at this point, honestly, we should just be looking at a sack here from Ascent. They do send in Gink. Credu is underneath water as well, but gets taken down by Demul. That's Gink doing absolutely nothing. And now they're going to walk back. Maybe an off class is coming out of Ascent right now, but they are 2 dead. They have to look out for a push out of Lust from LEGGO.
Yeah, 2 down. Any other map, you'd have to be very cautious. Gullywash, on the other hand, double sacking is something you'll see all the time. Losing 2 players into this last is pretty much fine. As you see, Yehor's still got his sentry up. Kunu is going to defend that with his air blasts as well. Credu does spawn sniper, as you said. And Josh is also on the banner. We've got a full-on classic, just hold last with everything you've got sort of play coming out here from LEGGO. All classic stuff to have on Gullywash. Such a small last point. Demul gets punished there. Josh trying to get some damage as well on lobby. Pappy's into water as well. I'm not sure.
Look at Credu right now. He's just, the dispenser is keeping Shock alive. Everything right now is on Credu, as he is on the sniper. He's the one that can make everything happen.
Oh!
He gets Shock! I wasn't even looking at him. Oh my god, but he got that kill, and that is so important right now. Ascent probably won't push immediately right now. They are 2 players dead, but that does give them a massive advantage, which is so important here. Coming in, I do think Josh is a banner. That's pretty much the only saving grace that they're going to have trying to hold
It's a defensive banner. They're going to take 30% less damage, and they have the sentry and the pyro, but will that be enough? Yeor's also put up a wall. He's built a wall on that shutter. The dispenser's going to block entry from that route. So instead, they're going straight through River, popped onto Thomas and Lucas once again. Kunu denying the entire Uber on Pyro. That's the perfect Pyro and Sentry combo that you want to see when you're holding Gully last. Lucas under the point now. does get spotted out by Demul. He's going to get punished. And Pappy as well loses his life in the fray. We are going to see a push out here, 5v3. Elicor's trying to take the space onto second already. And they get through safely.
Yeah, that is just really nice denial there by LEGGO. They were just able to completely deny everything. Kuno there on the Pyro. Ascent not able to do anything. They didn't get enough space in on last, and because they failed that, Shock is at an ad. But it is pushing into Gully Wash middle with a 20% advantage, so probably doesn't mean anything, because we just see they're just not even willing to do anything. They were sitting on like a 40% ad, and they didn't go in. Like, they just gave Domo complete full control, let him build up an Uber, and now we're back to even again. But we have to remind ourselves right now that this still is in the favor of LEGGO. LEGGO are 1 round up, which means that Ascent are really the ones that have to push this, and LEGGO know this. I think it feels like this is when they kind of feel in their comfort zone, when they get to sit and watch the enemy push into them, as long as they don't make any major mistakes. But
Credu is behind in lobby already, and he sees his opportunity. That's an easy 3-shot on Elicor. Absolutely critical frag. And now, all of LEGGO are pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. Lucas has their exits covered off, and they're in a 5v6 fight. This is perfect play for Ascent. This could be a team wipe here after this Uber trade comes out. It's inevitable, but neither team wants to do it quite yet. We're just seeing a spam fight on second. No one's committing to this.
Pappy and Credu are actually sitting in lobby right now, trying to get Elicor. That's Pappy. And Credu finding the kill onto Elicor, and now the positioning on LEGGO is just so bad. They're singing, they're trying to figure out what the hell they can do. They can't get out into their own last because Ascent's positioning is so good. As actually Lucas just decides he wants to go in, and now he's actually, I think that's actually just a complete throw. Why would they do this?
Okay, so that was just a straight up force eventually what we see from that play, but it doesn't work out in their favor as they go 3 down and just let LEGGO get mid. That seemed like it could have been so much better for Ascent, but now they do have 100% advantage. They want to get straight back into mid. The banner does come out from Josh. He's going to be taking less damage, but Ascent coming straight in. They do use out the Uber as well. They're not getting too many frags. They get Demul and Josh, but Elicor and both scouts escape with their lives. Yeehor actually all the way behind could spawn camp someone.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's just looking for a Lucas kill. Never mind. Okay, he's just decided not to. That's going down, so now he's actually just on mid. He's going to get the flank onto Pappy. Pappy knows, doesn't care, kills him. That was almost really nice, but it looks like because Lucas went down there, Ascent didn't have the player and the damage to really go in and actually manage to push forwards.
Elicor hit some holy pipes in that, by the way. He got 2 very nice frags. And that's ending up with LEGGO in control of the point again. They've spotted out the stickies on the ramp from Lucas there as well. We're in another even Uber situation. LEGGO still at the round advantage. They've run 13 minutes off the clock so far. Still 1-0 up.
Getting caught in the sniper, however, he's gonna look at Big Door. Doesn't quite find Yeehor right now, but it is gonna be spotted out by LEGGO, so they're gonna be able to play around it right now, shifting the soldier of the Maul across. This makes sure that King can't realistically go for any big hero shot right now. He's gonna have to take care of Demul first, or else he just goes down immediately. But it looks like sitting on that little spot right there, that little ledge, gonna sort of keep him propped up, safe from any immediate spam that will come his way. There's a soldier aggression forwards right now. Demul does not go down. So now the team's Ascent electing to rotate back to Choke. They're still keeping Lucas in here, but they're making space for Gink and Choke, trying to lure someone into a sightline. No kill being found right now. Josh is pretty low.
Yeah, we do see the aggression this time from LEGGO. Elicor wants to take some space. He wants to get Demul the room to sack, but Demul just fluffs the jump, and he'll go down there. Gink now trying to take a wider angle through the big door, see if he gets his eyes on anyone, but Elicor, instead with the trap to pick up Lucas, that's going to slow everyone right down.
Yeah, Lucas has been going down in some really crucial moments here. That opens up the plays for LEGGO a lot, but luckily for Ascent, they just decide it doesn't matter right now. They're finally moving into choke, but Lucas is back alive right now.
Oh
Lucas popped
no!
out of Demul, but nobody's there to help him.
Oh, that was
Josh is in
terrible.
right now, but that's shock with a massive ad right now. Nothing's gonna be done.
Oh, and Josh gets the frag after the Uber as well. Domo got forced, and he dropped his player. He had no one to connect to for half of his Uber. He was just a lone man in the middle of Gully Wash second, just shining with no one to heal. This is a full ad now for LEGGO. Their off classes aren't even going to be up in time for Ascent here. The sentry gun's not even built. They're running straight in. Elikor sticking off the point, but Lucas just underwater. Has no pressure on him at all as of yet. No, only Gink is down on the side of Ascent, and the push is just failing for LEGGO. Demol under the point might be the last hurrah, but he's just going to opt to get out with his life. Just a fluff last push overall there.
Tomas coming out that delayed sort of heavy spawn after LEGGO had sort of deployed their initial sort of salvo. Big sort of barrage of rockets and stickies and stuff meant that there wasn't really enough damage to be able to deal with him. The Uber had already popped out. So LEGGO didn't really have enough health, not enough bodies to throw out that heavy to be able to kill him. The center actually getting really aggressive in choke here. Domo does pop the Uber, but Tomas has gone down right now. It's Lucas jumping in onto the enemy choke right there. Josh getting put out. He's still in the banner actually.
Elikor is hiding
That's
in the
Pappy
forward
going
spawn.
down, getting a little bit overeager right now. Elikor's got the forward spawn. He's walking in onto point right now, and I think that's just going to tell Ascent to get right back out again. Shock has 90%. It's going to be 100%. They're just going to walk into them. Uber finally comes out, but Shock goes down to some really nice clutch pipes from Lucas. Somehow, Ascent have managed to turn this around. Josh has gone down as well. And this is looking awful for LEGGO. All of a sudden, that was so quick. Really nice
Shock
play
on,
by Lucas.
on 95% there, getting taken down just by the pipes of Lucas. So now the Uber advantage completely rotates. It's entirely in Ascent's favor, and there's no positioning for LEGGO at all on second. They need to get out sharpish.
Nope.
They don't have the setup to deal with this, but they have Kunu! And he's going to take Domo down with the big drop. They won't be able to fight second by the looks of it. All the positioning is already for Ascent. They let the capture happen, and Ascent need to get this force here or flee. Tomas going to go down straight away. Josh gets onto Lucas as well. Credu also falling to Yeehor, and they do not get Shock. That's all they wanted, and it was unsuccessful. Another full ad for LEGGO.
That was really... I want to call it unlucky, but I'm not even sure if that's the case. It's like Ascent going in, trying to throw the bodies at Shock. Didn't quite get him at all. Didn't quite hit the shots that they needed to hit, and it just makes it so hard for them to do anything. They're sitting up top right now. The Uber's actually popped in really early out of LEGGO there. Demo just sent flying in as Elikor. King does go down, and Demul is straight in onto the enemy team. Doesn't find anything though. That's one kill. Both soldiers traded, so Ascent are looking to get a little bit more aggressive, but Josh, he's in onto Domo somehow! Doesn't get that kill. That's really nice movement out of Domo. He's got 90% now. Shock. These Ubers are being traded back and forth. No team really able to find that crucial defining wipe you're wanting to see.
Yeah, we have not seen a
falling down
successful
below. He's in
Uber
drop
yet.
down right now, but doesn't go down, luckily for him. That was scary stuff.
A sneaky escape. We haven't seen a successful Uber yet this game. It feels like we do have Ascent now taking the second point. There's 20 advantage on them, but by the time they get through to last, it looks like LEGGO are going to be up with their own Uber charge. Gink bombing in onto a weak Josh. Does get out to Shutter before he can get that frag. Demon's still in the respawn queue. Lucas is sticking up the point from the balcony as Credu runs under. No one's looking at it for LEGGO. Credu has a lot of cap time here.
Wait, Credu? Credu just kind of two shots to Kunu there. Doesn't actually amount to anything more, but that is just like the most tilting thing I've ever seen. That's
I mean,
just not happening.
It amounts to 2 frags each, and with even Ubers, Ascent are liking this. They're just kind of taking as much space as they can. Pappy does go down for it though, and now they're gonna figure out that it's unwise. They'll back out, wait for Pappy to get back up.
Yeah, it feels like Pappy's just getting a little bit over aggressive there, over eager. Sees the 2 kills, it's like, okay, I just want to go fight. I think I have the better DM, we can just outplay them, we'll win anyway. But ultimately, you look at that sort of in a vacuum and you go, that's not a good play. Josh is up on the banner. You go in there, like, it's an even like trade. The enemy's going to have spawners way before you are. It's just, it's not a good look. Didn't have any players with him. Credu going
Credu's
for the
on
hero
the
shot, he's going
sniper.
for the Thalas shot. Ducks behind, that is shock. Going behind the pillar. Luckily, you can't shoot through walls in this game.
Yeah, they should add wall banging. That would be awesome. I
That
love
would be
CS:GO.
crazy.
CS:GO is epic.
I love CSGO.
Alright, well, Credu still trying to take an angle in Riverside. He does get it for just a split second there, but he will get spammed to high heavens by Josh and Demo. And Elikor actually getting picked up by Lucas's stickies. The sentry going down as well. This is really in Ascent's favor. They do have a sniper though, so not ideal. Pappy trying to bomb in while Gink is playing the point from below.
Shock.
Oh no! Pappy did the old Cadus fake the point, go on the medic. And he
That's a
does get the
classic
force
clip.
out onto Shock there. So they've engineered themselves a full advantage. Ascent Domo with the big 100 on his medigun. The soldiers will be back up in 4 seconds. Josh has his banner ready to blow. So again, we'll see a lower damage output from Ascent overall. And this Sentry and NG is up again. Last time we were in this exact scenario, it didn't work out for Ascent. Have they learned anything from the first time? They go through the shutter. Thomas and Lucas straight in onto the combo. Josh releases the banner, but he gets taken down really fast. So does the Sentry gun. Now they need to start playing the point. Elikor is in secret. Nobody's noticed him there yet. Credu's playing the point from behind. The Stickies are dead on the point, but all the frags are going to LEGGO. Really clean hold.
Happy?
Only Josh dying there. Domo
Wait.
running out from top, getting chased down by Yeehor. Will he be able to finesse his way out of the choke? Yeehor will just leave him alone.
Pappy did spawn on a banner, but he did also kind of look like he didn't care that he was on the banner. Went for some really interesting plays underneath. Almost worked out, did get a single kill, I believe, onto Demul, but that was pretty much about it. The rest of LEGGO were there, ready to clean up. So now we're looking at Shock. Solid 50% Uber advantage, looking to push into mid here, trying to get something. We are now looking at 8 minutes left on the round. Ascent still haven't been able to crack the last hole of LEGGO. LEGGO are up a round. They just have to, they've already kept this up for a solid, like, at least 15 minutes at this point. I can't actually do the mental math in my head. You'd think I would be able to, considering the fact that I did study physics for about 4 months, but, you know, not everything is
Credu
hard.
just suicided.
Credu is
Hello?
trolling.
Farewell, cruel world. Go sniper, yeah, says Kuno in chat. LEGGO are playing this so far back. They're playing all on top. No one's even near to peeking the choke. They have all their players just on the high ground around the point here. Elikor and Josh watching the flank. Demul watching choke from a considerable distance. Maybe scared of coronavirus. Doesn't want to get near any players in that compact area. Now Ascent taking the space through Big Door. Credu did actually spawn on Spy.
I can't believe he's this big of a
snuck
brain.
in through Choke.
He tells the enemy team, I'm going spy, and then he goes spy. This is unbelievable. I don't think Shock actually... He's looking at it. He almost got the chance there. Nobody's looking. He's checking around at the enemy players right now. They're absolutely clueless.
This
He's
is
on the Wanga
the
break.
opportunity.
He
They're
can't
all
even
so far
disguise himself.
apart.
He doesn't need disguises. Bumfries. He's standing. This is terrifying to watch. He's not actually doing anything. He's just kind of teasing it. Finally on cloaks right now. He's gonna go into Shock. He does get spotted out. Kunu gets the kill.
Oh wow, what a play. The suicide out of spawn to play Spy who can't disguise. Just perfect. Josh has his banner up now. We could see a trade come out in the choke, and then if Josh were to use his banner afterwards, they'd have a really good advantage in that post-Uber fight, but they'd need to get the space through the choke with the Uber first. They don't want to use that as they've already got the round up. They just want to let Ascent try and take the fight to them, use the banner afterwards in a defensive manner. But Credu and Pappy both snuck through that basement door. They're in behind.
This is really nice.
And we could have the same situation as last time, where they just lock them, all their escapes, and just crush them on this second point. But again, we're in an even Uber scenario, so it won't be as easy as Ascent wants. Ellicor and Lucas just taking a 1v1 demo fight there. Ellicor is so weak. He does finally get the arrow. But yeah, this is just a ticking time bomb for LEGGO. They're in the same rubbish positioning as they were before. But at least Ascent have to take the fight to them. They have to come up onto this high ground. And Josh has the banner and the Uber under his control. So they are managing to hold their ground for now. This is like a siege wandum.
This is such a nice play out of Credu and Pappy. They're just completely cutting off LEGGO from their own side. They do actually go down here, but I love the idea of that. It's so big brain. That's why, honestly, that's why like big door pushes are so scary. Because in this situation, even if you're holding top there as LEGGO and you send those two players behind, even your whole team sometimes, you will see a common counter to a team holding top on second is just like pushing big door and going in through that lower area, just walking in behind the enemy, catching them out in their own second. They have nowhere to run. Really good
Even
play.
with those
Unluckily
two
for
frags.
them, fights weren't taken.
Yeah, with those two frags again, LEGGO not keen to push into mid at all. They're just willing to play the defensive game. Let Ascent be the aggressors and try and capitalize any mistakes they make. Just play their own game the best they can. They don't want to take these fights that they don't need to. They're scared of them going wrong. They have that one round up. There's 4:20 on the clock. And now Domo just running in through the choke with Tomas. Shock uses onto Demil to save his life. Flashes Ellicor in the Uber too. Domo's getting juggled around in choke. Will he go down on the tail end of this Uber? No, he won't. It's Josh and Ellicor who will fall. Lucas and
Credits
Tomas
on the
for
flank.
the Ascent as well. And now Gink in with the huge bomb. Doesn't connect the rockets. Pappy wants to follow it up. Nice surfs by Shock, but he does eventually die.
It's just Credu now, however. That ultimately worked out in LEGGO's favor. That was really scrappy. Ellicor going down there. That looked so good for Ascent. They could just walk back in. But LEGGO, they're just too good at denying that. 3.5 minutes now for Ascent to get around. This is looking scarier and scarier. I think, honestly, we're going to look at Ascent. They're going to have to start taking some much more unfavorable fights. They can't really afford to hold back that much longer at this point. Setting such a deadline on them. LEGGO have been playing this pretty well, all things considered. They have been able to hold that Ascent, walking right back in through big door, but that's a lot of spam onto the enemy. Tomo, Lucas, they're not able to go in. That bomb out of Josh was just so good. Lucas goes down, but Pappy's still in on the point. Demul goes down as well with both soldiers down. LEGGO not willing to stay on second any longer. Pappy and Tomas gonna keep going forwards. Pappy here bombing in onto Shock. Gets shot into the air. Shock is so low. But that rocket was maybe just too ambitious for its own good. It's Kuno, he's actually stuck onto second right now.
Gink with the follow-up
down.
right on Shock.
But
he
Shock!
gets the rocket at Shock's feet.
Gink!
So Shock will fall there. This is the exact opportunity that Ascent have been needing. They have the full advantage. Shock's not up for another 7 seconds. If they can rush this straight into last, it could be a round, and that looks like that's what they're going to do. Tomas and Lucas once again through the shutter door. No, Tomas dropped from the Uber by Domo. Lucas bombs forwards, gets the sentry gun down. Now they're just locking down these spawn doors. But eventually, LEGGO will manage to break free. Just Pappy in the fight right now. Domo trying to get out of lower. He does manage to escape through main with Lucas as his faithful companion. Another failed Uber push.
That almost worked out in Ascent's favor. Unfortunately for Ascent, Credu just didn't quite win that 1v1 versus Demul under point. If Demul had gone down there, it would have been really hard for Ellicor to stay on the point, survive, hold it. That was the only thing keeping Ascent from winning that round. They did such a good job getting in, taking all the space, but that point was
Domo
not contested
living, though.
fast enough.
It gives them another chance, another identical chance, as they have 80% add here. There's a Pyro and a Sentry, but the Pyro's out of position to deal with this push. They're coming through River. Tomas not dropped this time. Kunu goes down incredibly quickly. The frags aren't quite coming out as the Sentry gun only just goes down now. Tomas now onto the point, will take down Demil. They're both playing the point together, 2 scouts, and it will get capped out with 1 minute 20 remaining. We've tied up the game. We need to see an incredibly fast round, otherwise we're going to Golden Cap.
It can happen, but we're talking about like one team wipes the enemy, and then they're already on second as the enemy's wiped. Like, the mid-fight has to go horribly wrong, and I think both teams are going to play with that in mind. There's 50 seconds left. It is technically possible, but it's so hard. Normally, the threshold for a round is about 1 minute 30. If you're realistically going to want to do anything but Shock solo in that big door, Kunu and Yehor actually get taken down. He might actually go down as well. Lucas is so far forwards on second, but luckily for Shock, he gets that kill onto
Demo
Lucas.
cleans up Domo as well with a really nice rocket right at the end of the mid-fight. That will be the saving grace for LEGGO, it seems. Looks like we're not going to see a round here. We're going to Golden Cap Wandum.
We are indeed, and I fear, thank God that ETF2L have added some funny new Golden Cap rules that allows us to, you know, not have to sit here for 30 minutes, because I have done that in the past. One of the first casts I ever did, which wasn't really a cast, it was just like sitting in Mumble and watching a game with people and streaming it. I watched a 30-minute Golden Cap on Reckoner, and that has just scarred me for life, because I looked at Gig try to hit headshots for 30 minutes, and it wasn't fun. So please don't do that. Thankfully, they've changed the rules. We're going to look at about 10 minutes of a round, but we're probably going to talk about that a little bit later on. We should probably just take a look at some logs right now. We actually don't know how much time we have to look at these logs, because the Golden Cap could just kind of start.
Yeah, they could go any second, but what I want to say is how clearly in control LEGGO were for the majority of the game by just... They didn't even change anything. It's not that they were more aggressive than Viaduct, it's just that they were simply happier with their play whilst not being aggressive on this map. They just allowed Ascent to do what they want, and they didn't falter to the same mistakes as they were on Viaduct. They were playing around it pretty well, and obviously until the last minute they were in the lead of that game. But that's how it is. If you don't make the aggressive plays, if you're LEGGO and you are just playing to run that clock down, things like that can happen. All Ascent needs is that one chance to take a round, and they've tied up the game, and now all of your 28 minutes of being in the lead, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's completely reset for this last 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is it's kind of one of those things where Golden Caps, they can also just end immediately. I feel like we have to sort of consider this fact that a mid can just kind of go horribly wrong for one team and they can just lose. Gully Wash is very much one of those maps where if your medic, your team gets wiped on mid, even just if your medic goes down and the enemy medic doesn't, gets so much harder to hold anything on last without that Uber charge. It gets really scary, and you can just lose the round off of that. But I don't know if we're going to see that here. Both medics, they know this. They've both played TF2 before. Shock and Domo are both experienced enough to know this about Gollywash. I don't think probably going to see, hopefully, out of both medics, a relatively conservative middle. I wouldn't... It would be such a power play to just go in and play this extremely aggressive. Just go onto the enemy side. But I really hope they don't do it.
I really like the permanent banner from Josh. I think it saved them on multiple occasions this game. It's really useful to have, especially when you're slowing the game down this much. He's not had to utilize his gunboats that much with all the stalemates happening. So having a banner that you can really just decide team fights with when there's no like scrappier fights happening, it's really just been stalemates and then trades. That's where the banners really come into their own, and Josh having it the entire game has really benefited LEGGO, and he's topped damaged the entire game because of it. He's been thirstily farming up that banner juice. He's at 325 DPM in that first half of the map. No one else managing to get above 300, so Josh putting in some good impact.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing pretty well. He's had solid position. He's also just like, he's a soldier on Gully Wash, so a lot of the time you're just enabled to be able to sit, like, spam a lot, depending on whether heals obviously are allocated on your team. But yeah, I mean, the second closest to him is Lucas, who barely misses out on the 300 DPM margin, 297 DPM. Honestly, like, as a demo man, Gully Wash is another one of those maps where you can just kind of go ham. But seems like he hasn't, so I don't know. He's actually, like, Lucas has been getting picked off in a lot of really strange situations where you actually don't want to lose a scout. It's very dangerous, but one team It's readied up. That is Ascent, but team maybe soon. So just getting ready here, collecting our nerves, discussing for like 10 minutes what you're going to do on a mid-fight, and ultimately going to do something else when you see the enemy demo roll out.
I've got a really bad feeling that Ascent are just gonna wipe this mid-fight and just take the round in like 90 seconds after we've seen such a long game. Ascent, I give them the edge in this situation where they have to talk about a strategy coming into a map that they've just lost. And Demul, yeah, as you said on Sniper, as we get into this golden cap mid here, no space is taken yet, but Demul instantly getting Lucas, Josh taking down Credu. This could be the caster's curse. We could see the opposite way around as LEGGO take a completely free mid. They want to get into second straight away. Yeehaws on the Putus as well. They're just taking the ground straight away on second. This is a very Highlander-esque semi-finals we've seen so far today. Heavy on both maps in situations you wouldn't expect. And Demul getting Thomas as well as he's trying to escape to last. So this is odd. I don't know what I'm expecting to see for this last. I've never seen a game where you've rolled out from Heavy and Sniper and got to the team's last this fast.
I mean, Demul has kind of redeemed himself off of that single demo pick, which basically won them the mid. Ascent, because of the heavy yeehaw on that big boy, so it's so hard to aggress onto him at all. My HUD is a bit broken, so the heavy is just like slowly trickling down. Oh, that's because he's on the gloves. He's running all the way back to last. Changing back to scout. He's actually nobody. There are players to open the forward store, but he's just gone back to last. Comes back up on scout. Just goes for a little bit of a run, you know. Heavy looking to lose some weight. So he's probably been inside all day, all week.
Yeah, he's
been
just
quarantined like the rest of us.
His daily exercise token.
Yep, cashing in the token. Goes for a little bit of a run. He's back on the scout.
He got back
still
home
in Sniper.
pretty quickly though. Good for him.
Yeah, Demul actually opens that up, gets the shot onto Gink, but he just gets shot right back down by Thomas. Nice little quick response, completely shuts down the aggression coming out of LEGGO there. Thomas is actually going to go for a little cheeky pick here into lobby. Doesn't get anything. That's super hard angle, but Kunu trades with Pappy.
Yeah, Pappy was there trying to support to get Thomas that space he needed. They do both take each other down, so we'll stay hanging around on Gullywash last for another few minutes. We'll see if Kunu decides to spawn on Sniper for once. No, he's not going to try his hand at it this time. Back up on Scout. We haven't seen any AA action from Kunu yet.
I mean, Auto Aim is the coveted sniper group above all sniper groups, you know? Like, getting into Prestige, it's the second most popular sniper group, but to add context to that, even I'm in Prestige, so I don't think
gross.
it means that much. Fun fact, Lucas is also in Prestige. It's
How
kind
do
of
I
a
get in?
different tier.
Oh, we do see an Uber out here from Ascent. They just use straight into LEGGO. Shock uses right at the very end there. Pappy loses his life immediately, but they need to take this sentry gun down if they want to get any more space into last, and that's not going to happen as Gink takes down Elikor. Yeehaw playing the point though, quite a lot of cap time. Very impressive. He lives for way longer than he deserved to, with 4 players in his face. So everything's going to even out again. Ascent doesn't look like they're going to push out. Their engineer is still just chilling out with his sentry gun up. As actually they do start looking to take space towards top now. Pappy in deep. But Domo is so low. Domo goes down. This is a big advantage for Shock. 70% add as we speak, and it'll be even larger by the time Domo finally spawns. So Josh will have his banner up any second now as well. It's on 90%.
This is looking scary for Ascent. Uber comes out through Shutter. That's Elikor right in onto the sentry. Gets taken down immediately. Finds a follow-up pipe onto Thomas. And now Credu, he's on the heavy, but it's just Pappy standing between his team and the rest of LEGGO. Nobody really able to hold. The banner comes out of Josh. It's just Lucas left alive. And that is LEGGO responding on Gullywash. That was very slow, but ultimately it ends out in their favor. We're going to a third map. We're going to Snakewater.
Yeah, both teams taking their own map pick, and now it's Ascent's second map pick. They get that advantage from coming second seed in the season. Snakewater, their third and final choice. That was exciting. I think the heavy and sniper play from mid, I've never seen that work out so perfectly as it did in that game. And then just from last there, Domo getting caught out by all the spam in the world was really what sealed the nail in the coffin. And a perfect Uber from LEGGO in there right at the end. Our first pretty successful Uber of the many failures we've seen throughout the entire game.
Yeah, that was really slow. It kind of felt like Ascent. I think they had like something like 6 failed Uber last pushes, and none of them worked out. Like they honestly they must be feeling like they could have taken that. It took them so long to finally be able to get that round. Now walking into Snakewater, Snakewater's another map with a really tough last to push, and you just it's honestly it seems like it's gonna come down to who can get one round. Like at least like looking at it right now, it's so scary for them. For both teams, honestly, that the knowledge that if you like make one mistake that can just lead you to a round loss can be absolutely crucial, and you just losing off of that, it's gonna make people play so safe. Especially when you're playing at this point for quite not literally all the marbles, but a lot of marbles.
Yeah, I mean, it's elimination from the season. The loser of this map will go out in third. The winner, of course, makes it on to the grand final against 6, which will happen sometime next week. There are a lot of marbles on the line, as you were saying, and I favour Ascent on Snakewater purely from the fact that they've picked it. I mean, they must be confident going into it. They had 3 maps left in the map pool to choose from. They're going to choose the one that they're most confident on out of the 3, and if they believe that they can win Snakewater, why not? I believe them too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, right? Like, at this point, you're probably just going for comfortability factor. Like, just what do you feel most comfortable on? I think also Snake is one of Pappy's favorite maps. I think he likes it a lot. Going back to the good old days, I think it's season 24, season 25, Nunya in high, third place, famously known as the best Snakewater team of all time. Pappy, obviously a feature on that roster as well. Maybe taking a few plays out of Yulin's book. Yulin, famous master, the greatest Snakewater player of all time.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was in his CV.
It's true.
Where's he got that from?
I think at one point they scrimmed like some medium prem team and they beat them. Since then, they've just
awesome.
They've been the de facto best Snakewater team in the world. It's that season of Nunya.
That's pretty undeniable then.
Yeah, I mean they're absolute gods. Pappy really likes this the Snakewater like mid where you bomb and you do a double bomb across top of point, and then you land in the enemy's soul. You take the health back and you deny the enemy from retreating back out in, or just from retreating in general. If they walk into your rockets. He really likes doing that. He does it a lot. Gink, I've adopted some of his strategies. I use them a lot in pugs. I call it the Gink mid, where on this map you walk into kitchen, and you sit in kitchen and you wait for your team to call a bomb, and there's just radio silence. So you just sit in kitchen, and then you leave. You don't do anything. You just walk back out of kitchen.
A classic mid. Beta mid. You love to see that.
It's the ultimate I at Gink mid.
So I hope no one from LEGGO is listening there. We've leaked a very important beta Gink strat.
I mean, I use it all the time in pugs, so I don't think there's no way they don't know how to play around it. It's become my signature at this point. I've stolen it from Gink, and it's worked out very well. If anyone's sitting here, if you go into a lobby or something, just like you're playing Snakewater on Roma, just like roll out kitchen, because what you can do is you can take the high ground, the little fence, and you get a guaranteed like direct rocket on the enemy. If the enemy soldier tries to challenge you in kitchen, you win that 1v1 every time. It's great. you establish soldier dominance, you win the 1v1. They get upset that you're rolling out into your own kitchen because nobody does that. You know? So that's my strategy. It works
Take
so
notes,
well.
guys. Prem room
I'm
of
in Div
wandum.
2.
Can I just interject here and say, doesn't Credo usually roll out that way? I'm just saying. He always sits in kitchen.
Does Credu do that too? Credu kitchen rollout? I'm not
I don't
familiar
know,
with the
maybe.
ins and outs of the Credu scout. But I suppose that would be funny if we had both teams with a baiting player in their own kitchen throughout the entire mid.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not going to end up with that. Right, back on track, Wandum. Give us a score. Do you think Ascent are actually better than this team on Snakewater after we've seen some pretty close games on Snakewater this season? I think you said Ascent lost to 6 on this map, and LEGGO had an incredibly close game with the pre-folded Aura Electro.
That was also a pretty different roster if we look at it. I think more realistic is probably... I'm pretty sure they played Snake versus the Wizards Guild, and I actually don't remember if they won or lost that map, but it was close either way. Actually, that's the one that they lost, but just barely, because Mac and Left had disagreements about whether or not you press the W key, and they kind of threw it. But, you know, Mac is schizophrenic, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I feel like, however, I have seen in the past, I'm pretty sure it was against Aura, last season even maybe, where Ascent played against them and they just completely destroyed them. I think they can be really good. It depends a lot on the mid fights, I think at this point. It's going to come down to whether or not they're able to kill Shock. If Shock doesn't go down on the mid, LEGGO are able to slow the game down to a grinding halt if they don't actually just outright win the mid. If Shock goes down, I think it's a completely different story, because I think Ascent have been able to capitalize on space really well and be able to go push a lot on the advantages they have gotten. Maybe not on Gullywash so much, kind of took them a while, but I think it's probably a different story on Snakewater, hopefully. We are live, however, final map of the ETF2L Season 35 semi-finals. LEGGO versus Ascent. Ascent took the first map of Product. LEGGO have responded right back with a nail-biter on Gullywash. We are here on the first mid of the third map. Bumfreeze, stop me from talking.
I'll gladly Wandum. As we do see both teams chilling around their own left side, neither of them aggressing as of yet. Gink, only player particularly on the high ground, as now Ascent just run across the right alley with all of their players, and they put all the damage in, all the frags. Demel, though, at the end of the fight onto Domo, and that is perfect. He's going to get the revenge on the medic for Ascent winning that mid, and Shock escapes to lobby with his 100% ad. There's 3 players onto second already from Ascent. All of LEGGO are back on last. This is really far out for considering they still have their medic up. They are going to finally take the space back on second now, and they need to get back into mid. They have that 100% advantage to use.
Yeah, for Ascent right now, they're just going to want to force the Uber as pretty much as soon as possible. The earlier, the better they get the force out. The longer, the more time they have to back out themselves and not die to it. If they don't get the force out, it's just going to be a matter of time before LEGGO are knocking on the last. But that's Gink going in, gets the Uber force onto Shock, and Ascent immediately just out of mid, building Uber up on Domo as well. Pappy's actually pretty low, but I think it's just going to be that. Domo now sitting in a nice 70% advantage, getting an Uber in just a few moments. And now the ball is entirely in the opposite side. It's pretty much the same situation, but this time it's LEGGO's turn. Gonna see if they're gonna be able to get this Uber out of Domo before everything goes horribly wrong, but no.
They're using immediately, actually. Through the door, Lucas bombing forwards and not getting the frags with it, so they'll secure mid, but nothing to roll off of there. No momentum in their hands. And we'll see another flip-flop of the Ubers. Shock with a 50% ad this time. And we'll see if Ascent go for the same strategy. Last time, they just had complete faith in Gink. They were fully out of the fight, and they just knew that Gink would get that force on his own. They were out and safe within moments of it. Pappy this time playing very close, will get punished for that. Gink is 1 health up in the top corner there. Oh, and Lucas gets 2 with a trap as they chase down Gink. Very cunning. And now they have the Uber to fight mid with. Domo's just getting up to 90% now. So they fully block LEGGO's return onto the midpoint. They're going to roll it straight through grass while they have this player advantage.
The soldiers, they are getting up on high ground now. Gink is so deep in onto Shock, he doesn't actually find that much damage. Shock gets the Uber forced out of him, however, and now Ascent are looking really good here. They're sitting on grass right now, just waiting for LEGGO to maybe come in, but they don't have the Uber anymore. Both soldiers are so weak that Josh going down. More does get arrowed, but Domo has 100% Uber. They actually forgot to cap second. Tomas kind of trolling, leaving Credu on capping duty. But right now, they're actually just going to walk in through under. Uber's popped out already. Sentry shot down. Player on the point right now. The Uber is actually faded already. There aren't any kills going through. Demore finally goes down to a pipe from Lucas. But the health on Ascent isn't quite good. There's a scout just edging the point, but that's a heavy. Yeehaw shooting forwards. He's denying that soldier bomb. Pappy gets absolutely nothing out of it. It's only Yeehaw dead. Credu now, he's in onto Shock. Gets the kill onto Shock. Elico, he's so barely alive, but it's a wipe. Oh my god, that was incredibly close.
Yeah, Tomas was just tiptoeing the point all through that fight, but they were not letting him get away with it. Eventually, they knew they had to take the fight into LEGGO, but LEGGO had all the off-classes on their side. That heavy shut things down quite well. Pappy now trying to just scare Elicor off a bit. Not giving up this ground for free. But Tomas gets baited out by his team there. They were all considerably further back than him, and he'll pay with his life. As now it looks like LEGGO trying to come through the choke on the low ground here. Elicor gets munched by spam from all directions. Well. And Josh goes down. Demul hides on the pack to try and see if he can get Domo. But that doesn't come out in his favor. Now we have 3 down for the last. Domo's going to run in from the left side with his team straight away. Credu this time, there's no stickies on the point. He can just play it to his heart's content. But the second point isn't capped as of yet. The Uber finally comes out. Shock just manages to pop with his last sliver of health. All of Ascent having to flee from the battle. Gink gets picked off on his escape. But now Lucas and Pappy coming back in. They're doing the damage, but they're not getting the kills. Yeehaw versus Credu on the point. And now, LEGGO do manage to keep it under control. They stay alive.
If that was communicated a little bit better and Tomas wasn't building on second, I feel like they could have actually almost gotten that. Those were crucial kills. Shock, Elicor, and Josh, the entire combo of LEGGO all wiped out. Domo has ad. He's got a 50% ad. That's Kuno Demul dead again. Tomas just going to cap this. Yeehaw on the edge. He's going to have to set up something right now. He doesn't. I'm not even sure if he has time to set up a proper sentry here. Domo's already 80%, but Ascent, they're so far forwards. They're on this right side, and there's no spam. Demul being dead, Kunu dead as well. That's a sentry of Yeehaw just completely shut down. Josh gets arrowed, but they're just in for free. They haven't even popped yet. Uber finally comes out, and that's a dead Josh. Yeehaw dead as well. Domo's so far forward right now. There's so much capped on the point. There's a demo there. Lucas does everything. Everyone on LEGGO just dead, not able to get that force. Kunu and Demul dying as an LFMAO.
Ascent hit some really nice air shots on Demul. That's why there's some banter occurring in chat right now. He just got juggled between the 2 soldiers of Ascent in the air. Pleasure to watch. As we do come into the second mid-fight of Snakewater, 1-0 to Ascent already. We'll see if we have the same passive mid-fight as last time. Doesn't look like it. Demul skip jumping into the enemy saw. Josh in to help him out, but all of Ascent have also run across the point. They've just swapped sides here already. And now Shock is getting flanked by Gink. The backstab of the rocket launcher will hurt more than the spy's knife ever could. As Shock eventually goes down, now only Kunu left alive. He's running all the way back to his spawn. Domo lives, so it's 100% advantage.
Credu is, I feel like he's back at that point. That was such a nice mid from him. He just walks in, 2 shots a scout, walks forward, 2 shots the demo, and then the mid fight just kind of ends from there. Yeehaw now on last, trying to set up a sentry. The last minute defense as Kunu's on sniper. gonna hope and pray to get that kill onto Domo. As right now, Ascent, they're gearing up on this right side. Gonna take the Uber in just a second, getting up all their heals right now. They're not gonna want to go in without this. Kunu is looking at this shutter door, but the Uber's popped out immediately right now, so that sniper is rendered absolutely useless. Can't headshot Uber players. Nobody else has actually gone down. They've just managed to kill the sentry. Domo is actually caught out, but that's Elikor and Josh going down. Gink and Lucas find those 2 kills. Demul's sitting on top, but that's Kunu on heavy right now. Sitting behind the point. He's going to get bombed out. He actually completely takes down Gink. That's Credit going down as well, but there's nobody on the cap. Tomash just gets it right out of the enemy's hands, and he calls the enemy a free to play. So,
a classic
down.
Snakewater last Uber. You just get down the sentry, end up with all 6 of your players on the same side of the point pretty much. They got Elikor as well, so no stickies, and then you can just run across to the other side of the point, capping the point on the way, while taking the fight to the other team and just stopping them from blocking you out. We're in the 3rd mid now. Once again, Kunu taking a very aggressive line with his 2 soldiers, running straight down that left-hand alley. Not working out though, it gets kited completely, and then they crunch on the players who were remaining in the fight. Ascent perfectly countering everything that LEGGO throws at them on these mid-fights. Credu trying to chase into last, he notices he's not going to get away with that, he just opts to get back. But this time, Shock lives, so we do have even Ubers.
Ascent are just like in on last, however. I'm so confused about this. Pappy's actually just in the skybox. Tomo hits a really nice arrow there. Gets him back out alive. But crucially there, the most important factor there, honestly, is that Shock didn't die. So now we're in a situation where, yeah, Ascent didn't decisively win the mid-fight. They're probably not going to get around immediately. But they also aren't going to lose, which is probably more important. They've gotten 2 rounds already. We saw how slow that last game on Gully Wash ended up being. 2 rounds is a lot. This is actually a really big hurdle, a large mountain for LEGGO to overcome. I'm not really sure how they're going to do it. Gink is on Sniper.
Gink on Sniper too, yeah. He's just trying to slow it down.
Destroys Kunu there. That is sad.
We have confirmed the better AA Sniper on the server.
Is Gink on?
That's all the proof we need. I don't know. He has it in his name. He might just be trolling Kunu with it though. Demol actually goes down as well. He got baited into a trap of Lucas whilst the sniper was peeking the door there. Gink just manages to bait the player forwards into Lucas's trap. Elikor will shut him down as revenge though. And honestly, this is absolutely fine for Ascent. This is all they want really, is to run down this timer. I mean, they're 2 rounds in the lead. This is a notoriously difficult last to get in and out of easily. So Ascent can play this as safe as they want.
Yeah, I mean, the ball is entirely in LEGGO's park. They want to do anything at all, they're gonna have to go and do something. Right now, it seems like they're trying to bank on Kunu hitting some form of headshot, but he's already been spotted out on Sniper. I think Ascent should be like able to realize the fact that if they just don't peek Kunu, he's not gonna do anything. And then there's nothing that LEGGO can do to be proactive.
Oh, Ginkin with a big bomb. He's straight onto Shock, but the dispenser is the perfect body shield. That red armor eats up all of the damage. Josh actually pops out his banner, which he had just built up here. Looks like he's going to utilize it for a sack. Lucas actually getting sniped down just before this sack means it's perfect for Demul to force Domo out. This is 100% Uber advantage, but using it out of last can be quite tricky. They'll need to go before Lucas gets back in the fight. Doesn't look like they're going to move it up yet.
The ancient saying is that if you have to pop Uber in lobby, pushing out of Snakewater last is not a good Uber. You're not going to get anything. But it looks like right now, LEGGO playing this super slowly. Yeehaw's still on Engie as well. They're going to have to push this 5-man without the engineer, unless Yeehaw goes for some really funny stuff. But
they do use it straight out of lower now. Pappy does manage to land on the medkit. Doesn't keep him alive for much longer than usual though. So with 2 frags with the Uber, it's not bad for LEGGO, but now Domo immediately has his full advantage. See if he can use it in return.
Yeah, Gink, however, is on Sniper. It's going to slow his team down a little bit, not having that roamer, having that soldier to bomb in on Snake's second, make a lot of space. Got to make the push a little bit harder, unless, of course, Gink just goes out and headshots like someone. Maybe Shock? No, he doesn't go for that peek in window. He's going to walk over towards the saw area, never mind. Sneaking back around, but I'm pretty sure he might actually been spotted. Seems like LEGGO are playing around the sniper. Either they know, and you shouldn't ask them how they know, or if, yeah, I don't
They
know.
just didn't want to lose anyone's life for the Force there. They didn't even make an attempt on Domo, which means we just end up even on last, guaranteed. I'm not sure I like that decision, because I believe they had Yeehor on the sentry gun all that time. They didn't have to worry too much about just losing one player and not getting the Force. They could have sacrificed someone there, seen what they could do, but they're playing it safe. Not something you want to do while it's 2-0 down from your perspective, but that's how they've been playing it so far. They're going to stick to what they know.
Yeah, right now, Gink not really willing to peek that initially. He's holding this angle, not actually showing where he is, hiding that sniper dart. He's gonna rotate around, try to get something from the left side instead. Kuno is on the sniper actually, but he's looking at the other door, trying to check for Gink. Doesn't find him because Gink is nowhere right now. I think he's just standing in lobby.
In the ideal position. Gink can get an angle
sentries.
on him. But
Lucas,
in the meantime, Demul takes a stab at Lucas on the side of lobby where the heals were not present. He's going to get away with it. Lucas goes down. Elikor now taking his peek through the mini door into second. Just a distraction for the big Demul bomb. Straight onto Domo's head. Hits 2 rockets. Domo is down to 50 health but doesn't die. Gink on literal 1 health after getting sniped there by Kunu. Buffs are so important on your snipers. That proves why.
damn. I mean, that's feeling pretty bad, man. As Gink tries to peek, Shock gets headshot by Kunu. Dispenser is taken down, however, guys. Important picks coming out of Lucas there, but that is honestly, I'm surprised. I feel like if it would have been LEGGO that was in, oh my god, Demul just got completely destroyed. We're just gonna ignore the fact that Pappy also got sniped by Kunu, because Lucas kind of hit a crazy little pipe on Demul, and that's kind of fail right now. But I feel like honestly, if we were in an opposite situation right there, and Ascent got that demo pick onto Elikor, I think they would have pushed out. I think it's purely a difference between these two teams and how safe they're playing.
Gink this time electing to respawn on the spy. He's sneaking around in lower. He's on the cloak and dagger, so he's just standing still for a while to replenish his cloak. Starting to walk into last from lower now. He can see that Shock is crouching in his favorite dispenser.
Can you actually backstab the medic from there? Isn't it pretty hard?
I
You
think
have to
you
like get on his head or
can.
something.
I have no idea about the
Can you?
logistics of the spy class, unfortunately. I'm sure there's plenty of chat experts who can help us out.
Oh.
But Yeehor goes down actually to Gink's stab, and his sentry will get sapped too, so the double sack comes on and they
Wait,
do
he's
get
just on
the
the point.
dispenser
Nobody's
and
looking.
full
Oh
shot.
my god. He's actually. Wait, what?
Lives as well? That's not
They
bad.
actually shot a rocket, but
He's
now
going
Elikor was
in.
dead. There's just 3 people on the point right now. Ascent, they popped this Uber in. They didn't pop that entire time. The shot going down now as well. Thomas finds the follow-up kill onto Demul as well. Pappy's just AFK
They
on
could
the
just
enemy
cap
last.
it now, but they're hungry
Sitting
for
on
the
top,
frags.
and he's standing on the point. Nobody's there. It's just Josh. He's not
Thomas
that
has
healthy
been
either.
taunted.
Credit capping. He gets the kill onto Josh. Another sorry for party rocking coming out in the chat. As Thomas asks who he's playing.
Yeah,
Doesn't know.
Thomas was taunting throughout that entire fight, which could have come back to bite them. It looked a bit close at the end there. But Thomas was just taunting, and a scout missed like 4 shots at him. So he hits him with the LMFAO, who is that scout? Onto the 4th mid, it's just looking more and more convincing for Ascent so far. We're going to see a slower mid from LEGGO. Both of their fast ones haven't worked out for them. Josh gets launched into the air, surely not on purpose. He goes very low and makes no progress. He's still just chilling on his own side. Neither team, wants to be the first one to aggress. Demul doing the baiting in kitchen strategy you suggested earlier. As Josh is the first casualty of the mid, Gink going forwards will take down Elikor, and then the rest of the team just immediately follow up off the bomb. Perfect play from Ascent, synchronizing their bombs and their combo running forwards with it.
Pappy, such a big bomb there as well into lobby, does a lot of damage, completely denies the scout. That G-Hawk going down, Kunu might also be in trouble there. It's a lot of damage coming out of Ascent. There aren't players in lobby already. Ascent just walking back so far forward. Gink is trolling right now. He's on Spy as they this team is pushing in on the last. They're sacking in their demo to try and force the enemy medic. Doesn't quite work out right now, but it feels like honestly Ascent, they're able to do this. They're 3 rounds up, 12 minutes left. It's getting harder and harder for LEGGO to come back into this game. Considering the pace already, they haven't. I don't think they've been able to get onto the Ascent's like half of
Gink
the
is
map
up on
so
Spy
far.
again, and LEGGO are pushing out. They don't have anyone on last. If Gink notices this, he could backcap while the trade happens on second. That's what he's going to do.
God.
He's on the point
no.
on last. No one's back in time. Here
Is he
comes
spy grabbing?
Demul trying to block the point, and Demul does surf Gink out with that rocket.
Wait,
In the
there's no
meantime,
way.
on second, the fight has gone entirely Ascent's way. It's 3 frags. We're now in a 5v3 situation. Ascent could run this to last. It's already half capped thanks to the spy play we just saw out of Gink. They are running in. There is a respawner. That's Kunu. He's going to come up on heavy. But
ready?
Gink,
Are you ready?
Gink
Are you ready
makes
for
it
magic?
behind.
Oh.
No magic. The only magic is Yeehaw's wall hacks. How did he know?
Don't ask him how he knows. Alright.
So after a lot of silliness, we'll chill out again. Looks like LEGGO want to get out of lower here. Josh bombing through, immediately crunched on by every player of Ascent, and that's going to cancel it for now. They're back to last straight away.
Yeah, that is I don't have a lot to say about that. Ascent are actually in. It feels like Gink just like doesn't care anymore, and he's just like he kind of wants this to end.
Yeah, I think Gink is
you know,
just
he
kind
spent
of
all Gully Wash being bored. Him and
disrespecting
Pappy
and
just go
trolling
in.
them.
That's
But
credit
the
as well. They get the
triple,
force.
yeah, that's a 3-man sack there for the Force. Domo still has his full Uber, but this is a guaranteed second point for LEGGO, at least in the meantime. Now we'll see if they're able to force Domo in an unsavory position and kind of waste this out, or if they'll just give up like last time and let him have it for last. It's more important this time for them to force it out, because it's a pretty sizable advantage. If they just let him through, they might not even get it in time for last. But Lucas going down will delay them enough for now. There's just a fight going on grass. Demul's got in behind as Josh will get picked off, and the Uber comes out of Ascent. They're not going to be able to get any more frags with the Uber. And that lets LEGGO come back in with the distraction of Demul from behind. Demul's going to go down there, and Credu is now the one to get behind enemy lines.
Yeah, at this point, it feels like LEGGO just trying to clasp at anything that they could get. Realistically, they want to go in. They don't have that much time left at this point. It's 9 minutes for 3 rounds, which at the minimum, anyways, they want to get 3 rounds. They want to get it to a golden cap, much less win the round. That's Lucas going down already. Actually, Lucas gets the kill there.
Yeah, Josh having flashbacks. That's the exact same trap he died to earlier. Josh trying out that bomb to make the space, not working out. They do manage to get midpoint, but they can't chase any further. The Ubers have evened out now.
Yeah, even Ubers now, and that works so well in the favors of Ascent. Once again, Gink is on Spy. It says on my HUD that he's disguised as a scout. Wait, does it work that way where you can change daggers in spawn so you can disguise something, change the eternal reward, and then still have a disguise?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think that's a
TF2's
cheeky
busted.
exploit.
Gay ban.
Yeah.
Gay ban. Stop making weird
Gink
VR games.
does have a
Fakes the
perfect
medic.
opportunity
Instead,
here.
Gink
He's right
on
behind
Shock.
Shock.
Come on, thank you.
Yes,
Gets the
it's
kill onto
free
Shock.
for
Actually hasn't
Gink.
been called yet. Gets a nice little shank onto Elikor. Elikor's dead. He's in. Saw Yeehaw goes down. Tomas is on a nice little 4K. Gets Kunu as well. He's just gonna walk onto Elikor. He has the sword. Nice little 6K. As
And a little
he has
taunt from
bonk.
Thomas. Yeah, this is looking ever more impossible for LEGGO. I mean, Gink is just in full disrespect mode. He's just trolling them and it's still working. I mean, everything they try is just going perfectly for Ascent. 3-0 up now. They're going to get second here for free and then still have an advantage into last. Josh is trying to punish Lucas for that huge bomb, but He doesn't manage to. Demul also going down there. This is pretty much a round in the bag. I don't see any way that Ascent can fail this now as they use the Uber into last.
Yeah, the Uber comes out here. The sentry gun of Ihor is dead immediately. There's so many players on Ascent on top of point. Elikor bombs in, actually gets a nice little kill onto Pappy, but Lucas gets shocked and Elikor in the meantime. Nice little pipes there. It's just Josh goes down as well. Thomas still hasn't died. Credu as well. It's just Demul left on the point, but there's actually not that much health. Thomas is only 21. Demul gets both of them. Nice little shot there. LOL.
I think the disrespect is a bit too much from Ascent. There were so many situations throughout that fight where they could have just capped the point and won the round. Instead, they wanted the frags for their logs. And they get punished for it, deservedly so. They don't manage to get that last there. Demul with the nice 1v2. Shock has respawned on crits to get this small advantage with only 6 minutes left. Kunu gets sniped from Gink. Lucas takes Shock down immediately as well. This is an absolute crumble as Ascent just wipe all these frags. Elikor eventually going down as well. Now Demul needs to replicate it, but this time it's 1v5. He gets the first one. He looks like he might be able to get someone else here too, but the cap is already gone. Credu from the other side will secure the 4th round.
I'm pretty sure now we are actually in dead time. At least realistically speaking, it's roughly around a minute and a half per round, and if you want to get 4 to force the golden cap, I think you need a little bit more, like 7.5 if my math is correct. I'm not very good at it. Shock is still on crits, however. They're looking to speed up this pace, but it's getting kind of scary at this point. We are on this mid. Possibly the final mid. Ascent have really taken control of this game right now. Josh is dead already. Kunu goes down as well. Domo does go down to Kunu, but that's Demul going down. It's not that many players left alive on the LEGGO side. Yehor's in Saw almost gets bottled by Lucas, and he kind of wins a 1v1. Pappy's on a 3k right now, somewhere on second. Gink is fighting Yehor, and Yehor runs away. That is, I think that's pretty much curtains.
Oh, but Yehor gets fragged and taunted by Gink. Shock maintains his advantage, but it's only crits at the end of the day if Domo manages to slow things down and get it in time. Obviously, crits not as good as Uber, but with the advantage, at least he should be able to take some ground here. And I think, yeah, with Ascent winning that mid, we are realistically in trash time, so we should be seeing Ascent in the grand finals next week, facing off against 6.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, honestly, looking at it, at least halfway through the season, right, Bum? This match that we're watching right now was probably what a lot of people were expecting to see in the finals. I think, honestly, 6 have come up pretty surprising, being able to take the necessary wins. It surprised me with how they play. I mean, they're outclassed LEGGO a lot of the time.
Oh my god.
Just gets a nice little 1-2 pipe there and Saw
easy drop.
Drops Tomo, gets a kill onto Thomas, and that is,
he was just hiding in that corner for like 30 seconds, and they just eventually chased Domo into that, and Elikor has the easiest drop of his life. But, even with Domo down, Ascent managed to cap up second. They're just having a funny little DM fight on last.
And Credu.
Yeah, I feel like this is how they win, honest to God. Like, I feel like no one checks it and they just win.
Oh.
They do drop down, they kill Shock off. Gink's already gone to last. Well, Credu's just DMing everything in the world. That's it. GG 5-0 is the score. And we do have Ascent advancing to the grand finals. LEGGO knocked out in 3rd this season. GG's all round.
Yeah, that was, honestly, Gollywash felt like it shouldn't have been as close as it was, but luckily we got one game. That was Ascent dominating them on the first map, kind of flubbing Gollywash, and then dominating them again on Snakewater towards the end there. I think Ascent have finally managed to get back into the finals. Obviously, they are the 2nd seed coming to this playoff, just losing the tiebreaker there, 2-6. We are looking at some logs right now. Really funny KDs coming in right now. Look at Thomas going 20 for 5 and Credu going 24 for 9. Damn.
Yeah, that's just classic scout KDs in a game where you're completely uncontested. They just have free ground to roll all over LEGGO. Just that's how you get those KDs on Scout, and it's kind of what you come to expect from people like Tomas. I don't think I've seen him with a less than like 3 KD for a while, or like 2.5.
Look at Josh's KD and then look at Pappy's KD.
Oh.
Josh went 3 for 24 and Pappy went 16 for 12, which is
That's really unfortunate, isn't it? Josh was not having a good game. I feel like every time I saw him, he was bombing forwards and like immediately dying, like either going straight into the faces of 2 scouts on mid or pushing out somewhere, or just running into Lucas's trap, like the same one over and over again. It seemed was always catching him out on mid.
Yeah, that was a pretty dominant game, honestly, especially like towards the end there. Sense started to get into the head of the enemy, but we do have some players in for some interviews, both teams represented, seemingly. I know there's a few more on the way, pretty sure at least. That was a game. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome, of course.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
I guess we should just we should ask the one Victor Tomas. How are you feeling after LEGGO kind of owned you there towards the end of the game? Rub some salt in the wound, even though you won. Did he get the last laugh?
When?
LEGGO.
Did I get air shot?
Huh?
Did I get air shot or something?
No.
Oh, was it in Seoul?
Wait, hang on. Was it not you?
Yeah,
It was one of the scouts.
the Sorto.
LEGGO can't laugh, he's French.
I guess it was Creddy.
Maybe it
Toe,
was
Toe
Credit.
wouldn't even care. Toe wasn't even
Yeah,
caring.
Toe was
back?
AFK.
If I got air shot by LEGGO, fair enough. It's all
What's
jokes,
that?
all fun. Jokes are
LEGGO
fun.
was like
Just a game.
AFK in your saw, and then Domo just kind of ran into him.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we had no clues there. Fair enough to him. Great old play.
Yeah, how are you feeling now? You've secured at least second place going into the finals. How are you sort of feeling after the games?
Feeling fine. Yeah, confident.
You gonna beat 6?
Yeah.
5-0?
Probably not.
How much do you reckon it's gonna come down to the maps? Because they're gonna have an advantage on you in map picks. Are you worried about that, or do you think your map pool is better than theirs overall?
It's hard to say. I think I got a better map pool, but yeah, I gotta clean up some stuff on Gullywash, I'd imagine. Our last pushes were not too clean, but yeah, I think apart from that, we're feeling all
Yeah.
good.
We can give you some tips if you want.
Pappy's in the other channel, by the way. Perfect.
Let's drag him.
Perfect.
in.
Hello, Pappy.
Hello. We do have a latecomer, Pappy. Had to figure out some mumble issues. I had to figure out how to use the app. We're joined by everyone right now. However, I think we should probably ask Kunu, the rest of LEGGO, how do you think overall this season sort of has been for you? Considering kind of the sort of way the team came together, do you think you've performed up to expectations?
I mean, in terms of gameplay performance, yes. In terms of positioning, maybe not, because 6 got the points they needed to be the first seed, and I feel like we're probably better than them. But in terms of like how we performed, especially in like for the first 2 maps of this game, I'm fairly pleased, and we're not dead, so shit continues. 4 maps tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. You're looking towards the throwdown, the lockdown throwdown.
Of course.
Yeah. So we should probably, I don't know. We can just talk about that right now. I mean, actually, no. Let's not do that. That's stuff for later. I don't really have any questions, Bum. I'm kind of blanking right now. Can you save me?
I'm blanking hard as well. I was
Oh,
hoping you wouldn't
no.
throw me under the bus, bro. But who are your favorite players from each other's teams?
Gotta be Gig, hasn't it?
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I'd have the time to do that.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, I like Demo. Demo's a very good player.
You know what?
Further.
I like Domo. Pappy's a close second.
I'll give it to Demo. What a beast. He actually owned us on Sniper on Bio. I don't know if you caught it on cam.
He owned you.
He
But
owned me. I got point blank headshot.
oh
by
yeah,
him.
that's yeah.
Yeah, he basically, watched him for about 5 minutes and he didn't hit anything, and then I switched away and he point blanked someone. So
Yeah,
that's
it
kind of
was
his
me.
game. But I want to know, like, what happened on Gulliver's? Why was that so different from the other two maps where you 5-0'd him?
Sidekick on
I-
the pushes, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's just how the game works. Each map plays out differently. We're good on... Obviously, we're good on Viaduct and Snake. Gully, we're less good at. I don't know. Seems like all our training went out the window.
Did you feel any sort of mental drain after Gully Wash? Did you do anything specifically to kind of recover, getting to Snake Water, or were you just there mentally, already able to dust off?
I mean, I don't think anyone really cared too much. We always knew that Gully Rush would be the hardest game out of the three, but we were pretty confident on the other maps.
True. I just didn't want to play a slow Snake Water game. Played a few of those in my day. So I just said,
Hey, facts, man.
let's just make sure we win early, and then they have to push. That's pretty much what happened.
As for the future of LEGGO, do you guys have any plans for next season? Is it all up in the air at the moment, or are you pretty committed to
We
playing
spoke
again?
about this about 3 weeks ago. We're good for another season, at least. But probably next season that'll be it, because Josh is off to the Navy in October.
Always good to see teams stick together.
Yep. Is there anything that Ascent is willing to share? Are you gonna stick
No,
around?
not at
Obviously,
all.
you're in the
Thank you.
finals next week.
In a bit.
No, we're folding. We're giving 6 the default. Bye.
But looking ahead, are you gonna continue playing?
That's for another day. That is for another day.
There's gonna have to be some discussions with a certain person.
Oh,
Damn. What the fuck, Condog?
mysterious.
I was gonna say, headphones and Condog are back. I think Pappy's gone.
I can't believe Condog is coming back. That makes me so excited.
We're gonna
Chris
have to have
Condog
some
funds, Peppy.
conversations.
I feel like we should probably get this wrapping up.
I'm
Bumfries
done
and I
for
both scrapping
questions.
for questions. Do you guys, I guess, Ascent, Pappy, and Tomas, do you have any words? I do see some 6 players in chat. Do you have any words of intimidation
Not really.
to scare Ace from maybe not using his hack client next week?
That's fine.
I don't really care.
We Gucci.
Beat him anyway?
Yeah. We can wall, it doesn't matter.
Nice. Okay. I think with that, we should probably just go to the shout-outs part of the interview. Just take it from the top, as per usual. Kuno, go ahead.
Shout out you all for the cast and production. Shout out Beta especially for all the help he's done with me using Low Warner recently. Shout out team. So
Pappy?
Shout out to my team, the other team, you guys for doing this. Our CEOs, Naylor and Eva Chain. Ascent.EU. Whoop whoop.
Shock?
Shout out production, Ascent, my team, shout out Aura, and all my Russian friends.
Tomas?
Shout out Owen, Spo, Yellen, Bunny, Jinxie, Gink, Pappy, Mac, Lucas, Geordie, Credu, Domo, Condog.
Geordie.
Geordie.
Yeehaw?
Shout out to my team. Shout out to Chinese Animal Market, allowing me to grind scout for a bit. Happy quarantine, everyone.
I think that should probably do it, unless Bumfries, you have anything particular you want to say before we cut this off?
Give a shout out to all the Zoom users around the world.
Hell yeah. I think that's going to do it. I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Happiness. Fortunately, his internet kind of cut out. Luckily for us, Beach was there, Hero, able to wolf down his dinner, save and come to production instead. hopefully Dr. Happiness will be able to join us at some point. But I think that's going to be it from us. I've been Wandum. The players no longer on screen, but you saw them play for a while now. Bumfries has been here as well, from Beach as well. I think it's time to say goodnight.